new doors, and LiftMaster openers. It's the perfect three-peat forward and back RENNER with Renner. You'll stay on the championship track. Visit rennerdoor.com.
A cancer diagnosis can be overwhelming, but when you choose MD Anderson Cancer Center first, you'll have the nation's leader in cancer care with you every step of the way. Our world-renowned subspecialists collaborate across teams and disciplines to develop personalized treatment plans for every patient and their cancer. This unmatched expertise, delivered with the utmost compassion, brings hope and healing, even in the most complex cases. Choose MD Anderson first at mdanderson.org.
What does it mean to be the official information technology provider for the Chiefs? It means everything. Technology Group Solutions makes sure everything runs flawlessly for the millions of fans that attend games and the hundreds of millions of fans that comprise Chiefs Kingdom around the world. Technology Group Solutions can deploy that same dedication, problem solving, and incredible service to ensure your business runs smoothly. Technology Group Solutions, powering Chiefs Kingdom, and ready to do the same for you.
With the current real estate market, you need the only agent who has the exclusive strategic options to sell your home. It's my friend Dawn Sharp and her team. They know how to navigate the market and get your home sold quickly and stress-free. The Sharp Homes team can give you options. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, contact them to discuss their instant offer program. Contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with Sharp Homes Team, brokered by Epic Realty. Check them out at homesforsaleInKC.com.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
Right.
to turnovers,
No!
and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice.
Let's go!
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadsimple.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
It's the dog days of summer. Baseball is in full swing. And unfortunately, so is your work schedule. Stay connected to your local team, even while you're working hard, with your favorite station on Odyssey.com. Get the best in local sports talk, listen live, or jump back to what you missed with Rewind. It's all here, all just a few clicks away. And I'll tell you something, it makes the workday go that much faster. Listen at work. Visit Odyssey.com today to get started.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Just getting started here on Cody and Gold. Jay Binkley in studio with me. Video stream up and running now on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Bink is showing off the 96.5 The Fan hat. You got 2 hats today. 2 hat day for Jay Binkley.
Because it was in my bag.
I mentioned we have Club 610 coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Rob Collins from Fox 4 going to join us. It's still Club 610 as of today. Drew came in studio during the break, though, because he ran downstairs, and a listener of ours, our Aussie friend, brought us some goods, man. We got some more beer for Club 610.
That's right.
And you were really pumped. There's one particular
that I just
Oktoberfest.
I love Oktoberfest beer. And most times now, Alex, you can go to liquor stores, get 10 or 12 different varieties. I went down to Bubbles the other day. I was like, what am I going to get? I was like, my head was exploding. Because Oktoberfest typically will come out in July. And a lot of times beer companies would hold on
earlier
to it.
and earlier.
I know, but they would hold on but it's ready to go. It's like ready to be served because they finish the stuff usually at the end of May or June. We're sitting on it, but you might as well put it out there and let us all enjoy it because I'll switch to winter beer. You know, as soon as Halloween's done, it's like, boom, let's get some winter beer on so I can sit down and watch Alex Gold in a Christmas movie and with a nice winter lager, you know?
Drew came running in the studio. And he just, like thinking of Christmas, like it was Christmas morning. He goes, "Hey, guys!" And he just holds up 2 6-packs.
You didn't have to run to the liquor store now.
Yes, we have plenty. We have plenty of beer for Club 610.
And I'm glad Rob Collins is coming in. Rob should be on the last Club 610. Rob's a good dude. And I'll never forget, the time he was giving us when he was down there in Miami when covering the first Super Bowl there for the Chiefs. Like Rob was down there the whole time, and he would chime in. And good dude, man. Good dude. I'm glad he's coming in.
Yeah, it'll be fun in the 1 o'clock hour today. It's going to be fun out at Kauffman Stadium starting tonight and tomorrow. I-70 series. The Royals are in another spot for the second time heading into a game because of the off day yesterday, where they're going to go into a first pitch with potential to have a huge swing again in the divisional race and the wild card race potentially, because right now the Guardians and Twins are playing each other. There's a doubleheader, 2:10 this afternoon, Guardians-Twins. They're going to play again. You have the Red Sox who are taking on the Astros, so that's should be a competitive series and a tough one for Boston. The Royals are once again heading into a game tonight, though, Bink, where it's a golden opportunity. Yes, they don't have their 3 best pitchers going. They just had them in the Boston series, and they avoid the sweep. We talked about that yesterday. But we could be waking up on Sunday morning, I'll say, because they play 2 games and then are off. Sunday morning, and this Royals team could suddenly, I'll have to admit, suddenly be within 2.5 games of the division lead, just like that.
It is wild what's going on because you think, all right, you lose 2-3 to Boston, the sky's falling, and it's not. I'm looking at the standings and saying, if not the Royals, then who? Because to me, it's a 3-team race. Whoever doesn't win the division, like if the Royals win the division, that's fine. But again, if they don't, and all of a sudden it's Minnesota, which I'd rather see Minnesota than Cleveland because I don't think they're as good. Minnesota, Kansas City, and I'm going to say Boston. I think it's a 3-team race, to be honest with you. Seattle, I know they bring in a Rosarena, who's not having a great year, but they brought him in the trade down. They bring in Justin Turner. He's only got 7 home runs, so they did improve their offense. They've got great arms, but I think Houston wins that division, and I think Seattle's the team out. But who's going to catch them? The Rays aren't going to catch them. To me, it's about Boston and watching what Boston's doing. If the Royals don't win the division, it is Boston to watch, and winning that last game against Boston, that was the perfect day that the Royals had. I mean, that was just the dream-made day for the Kansas City Royals.
It was. It definitely was, considering, again, it's the same circumstance that they're in tonight. Yes, it's against a National League team of the Cardinals, but because you could have the Guardians lose 2 games today. The Guardians have lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And so right now,
it's going to happen at some point.
The Guardians are 67-47. Yeah, they're leading the AL Central. The Royals are a half game back of the Twins for the second wild card spot, right? And the Guardians and Twins, the fact that they play each other, who are you wanting to lose? You still want the Guardians to lose that series against Minnesota and get them back to the pack a little bit and worry about the Twins. We all don't think the Twins are as good as the Guardians anyway.
Nope.
So if the Twins could get after the Guardians a little bit, the Royals have to handle their business against the Cardinals team who you should be able to get. I know they're battling themselves for a wild card spot. They're 2.5 out, so they're hungry, but they're also
9-14 since the break, but just 2.5 out, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to catch a couple teams. The Braves have lost 5 in a row, so the Cardinals are kind of smelling blood a little bit in the wild card race on the National League side. But I think you definitely want the Twins to beat up on the Guardians if possible today, and I'll have to eat some crow on Monday if, in fact, this weekend goes perfectly. Because I said, unless the Royals, before they play the Guardians again at the end of this month, unless this division is a 3-game rate, 3 games back, 4 games back, then I don't want to talk about the division. Well, on Monday, if the Royals handle the Cardinals and the Twins do what we think they might be able to do against the Guardians, the Royals would be within 3 games.
And you got 6 games left with the Twins, 7 games left with the Guardians. So, really, to be honest with you, it's all decided within that. It just is. Yeah, the Royals have a tough schedule. I mean, you still got, Philadelphia coming up and stuff like that, but it's at home. And the Royals are a good home team. I was reminding people, too, Boston, by the way, and as far as fearing Boston or not, Boston's 1 game under 500 at home, but they're like 11 games over on the road. They're much better road team.
Yeah, that was one thing that was noted heading into this past week. Against the Boston Red Sox out at Kauffman Stadium. But Vinny, we played the audio yesterday. I'll play it again. Vinny Pasquantino was talking after that big win. And here's what he had to say about what he expects the crowd to be like this weekend.
Yeah, it's great. More importantly, we've got the crosstown rivals coming up on Friday, Saturday, so I'm expecting this place to be full when we look around. So we're excited for that. This place has been packed, and we're pumped for more.
What do you think it's going to be like tonight and tomorrow? One, we've all been outside today. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're not dealing with the 95-degree miserable weather. It is perfect to go out there
it's like
tonight.
54 this morning, dude.
Yeah, perfect to go out there tomorrow. And, of course, the game's right here on 610 Sports Radio. And Vern's On Deck show gets going, at 6 o'clock tonight, I guess that would be? 6 o'clock tonight. A little after 7 o'clock first pitch as the Royals take on the Cardinals. We know there's going to be Cardinals fans. Like, you're not removing every single Cardinals fan. But I would hope this year, considering what the Royals have done, where they're positioned in the middle of a pennant race, that this is not the way it's been for the last, frankly, 5+ years, where Cardinals fans once again kind of took over the ballpark. We know there's going to be fans there, but what's the breakdown? What's the percentage? You might have them audible. The simple way so you don't hear Cardinals fans is the Royals just play well and you don't have much to cheer for St. Louis. But there's not a worse feeling than being a Royals fan sitting at Kauffman Stadium and the Cardinals get up early, score a few runs, and you're sitting slouched in your seat, and Cardinals fans and the Redbirds standing up making noise in your ballpark. There's nothing worse.
You know what the worst thing, too, is, honestly? It's when the Cubs are here. A ton of Royals fans made it to St. Louis. They were audible. You could hear the Royals fans here. So I'm expecting maybe a 70-30 split, Royals fans, Cardinals. The most frustrating thing to me is when you're listening to the game on the radio. You were out there mowing or whatever, and you got the game on the radio, and you hear everybody clapping, and you're like, oh, the Royals just do something? It was the Cardinals doing something, or the Cubs, because all those fans that are there, and it's a little bit tough to say who did something well because you hear those Cardinals fans and Royals fans. But it is frustrating. Yes, the Cardinals do have something to play for. The Royals do too. I just like the way this team's hitting right now. I mean, they have those guys, 3 guys over 70 at ribs, and the way that Vinny's hitting, that's freaking instrumental what he's doing, because you think of some of the top hitters. Actually, MLB did their hitter power rankings. They had Soto at 4, Judge at 1. So 2 guys in the top 4, right? And then there was just Bobby Witt, then Ohtani. Well, yes, they have that Soto to go with Judge. Like, who's going to be that guy? Perez is that guy, I think, with Bobby Witt. But when you add in, Ned Yost said, hey, again, give me 3 guys consistently hitting the lineup.
I mean, I would argue right now, Vinny's been the guy with Bobby Witt Jr.
6 home runs in the last 8 games.
I would say that's the 1-2 at this present second. Salvi's obviously had plenty of moments. He's had a great year. But over the last week or two, it's been more Vinny and Bobby in the lineup than anybody else.
Yeah. But the way Vinny is playing like dude's on fire. Dude's on fire. I love to see it. And Bobby Witt, get him on base. And that's the perfect guy to have on base. He's going to get runs. Vinny's going to knock him in. And if he doesn't do it, Sal Perez is going to do it. But got to love the way that Vinny is kind of turning it on. And, Renfro's been playing better. Melendez has been spotty and been very good when he's had those opportunities. For some reason, he plays the Red Sox really well.
MJ Melendez has been really good against
MJ Melendez has been doing that as well. But having Vinny hit, I think, has been absolutely huge for this team.
I want to see what start number 2 for Michael Lorenzen looks like in a Royals uniform, because the first return against the Tigers team, and I think some people are cautious because of against the Tigers, but he gives you 5 2/3, gave up just a 1 earned run. We know he replaced Alec Marsh in the rotation. They still have plans for Alec Marsh. He could still be back up with his team this year, and certainly have long-term plans
and the bullpen would be perfect
for Alec Marsh. But I want to see what Michael Lorenzen does again. If he has another good outing, this time against a better team in the St. Louis Cardinals, then they once again might have actually pulled something off here in the trade market and continued to stay hot with some of the moves. I know people are down right now on Hunter Harvey, the Hunter Harvey acquisition. We'll see how that continues to play out. But Urseg looks really good.
Yeah. And you got him until 2030.
We know what they did a year ago in the Cole Reagans trade from a pitching perspective. If they're able to get this, Michael Lorenzen's a rental, right? It's not a long-term answer. But for this playoff push and in the postseason, if all of a sudden Michael Lorenzen is a slight upgrade over what they were getting from Marsh, because Marsh in April and May, yes, was really good. But June and July, it's a big reason why they went and acquired Michael Lorenzen, right? He had been struggling a little bit. So I'll be interested to see what they get from Lorenzen tonight, and they could also give you some more confidence heading down the stretch where you worry about innings for other guys.
One of those shorter series, too, you're throwing Lugo out there, you're throwing Reagans. What if you once you get to the postseason, you put Lorenzen in the bullpen? Like, which could, on a quick series, and you're going Reagans. And, it's because Walk has pitched extremely well as of late.
And he goes tomorrow night.
But you get to the postseason, all of a sudden, okay, let's put Lorenzen in the bullpen, and see what he can do there. Because he can do the bullpen. He doesn't mind. He's done both. So he's kind of versatile in that way.
We'll talk some more Royals baseball a little bit later on in the show. And here in about 15 minutes, we'll get to a young rookie quarterback's comments about quarterbacks in the NFL. Bink was all fired up and upset this morning. I don't think it's as big of a deal as Bink, but we'll get to that in 15 minutes or so. I know Drew was fired up yesterday. You were texting me as I was driving home about Team USA taking on Serbia, and I caught just the fourth quarter, so I only saw the good stuff. I knew they were down double digits, and the U.S. was at that time headed towards potentially having to play for a bronze medal, which would have been massive disappointment considering the talent and roster that Steve Kerr and Team USA basketball assembled. But then in the fourth quarter, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, but Steph Curry, LeBron, it was awesome. Flat out awesome. I told you I don't watch the showcase games. They do like the tune-up games before the Olympics. You were into that as well. And I said, wait till we get to some games that mean something. And yesterday, you could tell that meant something to Team USA against a really good Serbian team. Obviously, Jokic is on that squad, the best player in the NBA. And they couldn't miss. Like they played nearly perfect the first 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, you saw some of the best players in the world for the U.S. Take over that game. And it was sensational. Now the U.S. will play for a gold medal tomorrow against France, and it's going to be awesome that the host country of the Olympics is who you're going to face and everything like that. You had faith still, unlike our colleague Carrington Harrison on Twitter yesterday, who just said it was over. He said America just wasn't capable. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I would never stoop to the level of CDOT and
he said
and
Team USA is going home.
Like,
freezing cold takes called him out as well.
As they should have. I would never. I will say this: there are people that said things, and then there are people that had drafts made up. I was one of the people that
had drafts ready to go. You were about to trash the team.
No, I did not have a draft made up, but I thought of where I would go with it. I guess this is obviously great, and in the moment, this is really cool. 3 of the best players in the history of basketball stepped up when they needed to most for the country, and they ended up winning the game. On the flip side of this, regardless of what happens, looking ahead. The fact that we needed 3 35-plus-year-olds to figure this out and get it done, we might be cooked.
Oh.
We might be cooked as a country because the rest of the world
There's always the next man up, man.
No.
Guess what? Next go around, Jason Tatum will just play a lot more,
But
he just hasn't been playing really that much.
There are certain players that have that dog in them, if you will. Kobe had it. LeBron has it. KD has it. I don't know if Jason Tatum has it. I think Anthony Edwards is the guy in 2028. Like, he'll be the guy in 2028.
will be favorites in 2028
Of course they will be,
They're
because,
fine.
again, they'll be the most talented. But when you talk about Olympic-style basketball, it's a little bit different, team-oriented. I don't know. Like, Embiid was great. Embiid also had moments where you're like, what the hell are you doing?
But
like,
that's
can
typical
you grab a
Embiid
rebound,
stuff.
bro?
That's typical Embiid stuff.
I think the final is going to be a lot of fun because it's Wemby. Embiid's getting booed by everybody because he technically could have played for the French national team, but he decided not to. The idea that it is in France as well, in Paris, I think the environment's going to be buzzing. I mean, what did you say we were? 16.5-point favorites?
Yeah,
Is that what we are?
The U.S. is 16.5-point favorites against France.
More than against Serbia.
That is more. I think that's from a public standpoint, that is probably, hey, look, Serbia, that was the game the U.S. was going to lose, right? They're down double digits. Now it's like they came all the way back. They're not losing this thing. And I'm kind of right there with where the spread is. I don't know about if I'll lay 16.5, but after coming back the way they did yesterday to Serbia, they're not losing to France tomorrow. No chance. No. They're not losing to France. The U.S. is getting the gold.
They struggle against Germany. I get it. But, this is the second time U.S. beat Serbia in the Olympics. It was their first game. They played Serbia. They played them twice. And people say, well, is this same dream team as before? Well, the difference is there's so many more NBA players playing on these other teams. I mean, so many more NBA players.
The game's more international than ever, yeah.
It doesn't. If they win, it doesn't matter. Obviously, they skated by and they beat an inferior team, even though they have Jokic, even though they have Bogdanovic. They should beat France, even though they have Wemby, even though they have Fournier, even though they have Rudy Gobert, who hasn't played very well. But if they lose, it's a horrendous loss regardless, because the U.S. is always like the pinnacle of basketball. I mean, they say world champions after the NBA win. Like, if they don't, it doesn't look good. And there's a lot of controversy. I'm a little bit worried. Post LeBron, post Steph, post KD.
Dude, that's 4 years from now. Worry about that's 4 years from now.
The only reason I'm a little bit worried is because, look, they needed 35 and as great as they are, they needed dudes who are at the tail end of their prime to win the game for them when you look at the roster, you're like, yeah, this guy isn't stepping up for us because Embiid does this. Jason Tatum evidently is not even good enough to play on the team. Tyrese Halliburton is really good, but he's not good enough to play and get minutes on the team. In terms of the world basketball stuff, I'm a little bit worried.
Worry about that in 4 years in LA.
When we're hosting too, LeBron's going to come back at age 50 just to play.
When there's more stars in the league and when guys have developed even more, not to mention you're throwing out like these 38-year-old guys like they're just random guys at the rec. LeBron James is either the best of all time or the second best of all time, depending on who you want to talk to. And you got Steph, who is an all-time three-point shooter in the history of the game.
With a great beard, looking like a grandpa. I mean, it's crazy.
It's not just random 38-year-olds.
No,
We're talking about
I know.
the three of the greatest players to play the game.
But
so
if you were to say right now that you didn't have those three playing, would we still win gold? No.
But in 4 years, you're talking about 4 years? That's not the reality of right now. In 4 years, Jason Tatum could be even better and more of a leader.
How much better is he getting?
Anthony Edwards could be more of a leader at that point in time. Who knows who else is around? Cooper Flagg will be on the team.
Cooper's a dog.
In 2028. So, no, you don't worry about 2028.
I might be able to book it down right now. In 2028, the best two players for America will be Anthony Edwards and Cooper Flagg.
Probably.
Jason Tatum is not going to be top two on the team. Devin Booker. How much better is Jason Tatum getting? How much better is Devin Booker getting? Devin Booker had one really, really, really good game. But if you ask, hey, we need you to come through in the clutch.
Hold on, though, about Jason Tatum. Like, let's,
he's really good, but him not getting, I mean, he was asked about it. And he's like, well, it's a little disappointing to not get minutes after winning an NBA championship and being
it's not because Steve Kerr didn't think he's good. It's because Steve Kerr, that was the rotation he won. And Steve Kerr also had LeBron James and Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid and Steph Curry on his squad. I mean, Jason Tatum's average what? What did he average this year?
In the NBA. Like, FIBA basketball is different.
I understand. But, like, to act like Jason Tatum just not good enough is, come on now. And I can't stand Boston sports, but Jason Tatum was, I get that he didn't play this year. We're conflicting this year from what your worries are in 2028. He didn't play this year because of how good the three players we just mentioned are.
Yeah, but if we need him to go through and score 37 like Steph in a no, it's not happening.
As far as calling games when they're over, how often do you get frustrated during NFL season? Remember 36-7, the Vikings down the Colts? Everybody was trashing the Vikings. They came back and won the game. I sit here and look at the text line during Chiefs games because the post game, and it's amazing how many people just give up. It's like, you've seen the Chiefs before. You know what they're going to do at the end of the game. You've seen the movie.
If you need one player to take a game over to win it for you, Jason Tatum is not that guy.
That's just basketball, though. Like, I mean, that was the situation they were in yesterday. There's a chance against France. They need that again. There's a chance against France tomorrow that they don't need that at all. Like, you're acting like every game they're going to need someone to go for 38 in 2020. Again, this is a 4-year away thing. Like, yes, the Chiefs in 15 years, man, I don't know what they're going to do. They may not have the guy that can just take over a game when they're down in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl. That's 15 years from now.
And as a result, they might not be good enough to win a Super Bowl.
They might not, but that could be 15 years from now, Drew.
But that's the Chiefs, and that's the Chiefs, though. This is not Team USA where
I'm being a bit of a smart ass, but I'm like, don't worry about, just enjoy the moment, man.
There's always the next guy up there,
it's
Drew.
Cool.
Everybody always worries about even teams. What are they going to do in the future? Then they find a way to replace the talent, and they keep being good. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the future of Team USA
Depends on who's
basketball.
coaching them, I think.
Now you're worried about the coaching.
Oh, Steve Kerr had to say, you know what? I'm just going to put Steph, KD, and LeBron in, and it actually worked out. Him trying to coach was the problem. Was part of the problem.
It's probably going to be Bronny.
I'm about to win a gold medal tomorrow. I don't think there's a problem.
Bronny, and Bryce are going to say,
is Bronny going to be on the team?
About to win a gold medal tomorrow. There is no problem.
If he's on the team, then that's a problem.
If they would have lost yesterday, we would have had a discussion about. Don't worry, plenty of people would have had plenty of pieces about LeBron James' failure and Steve Kerr's failure. But that didn't happen, so we don't need to act like something happened that didn't happen yesterday. They came back in epic fashion. Huge. It's a game that we're going to remember for a very long time.
It just gave me the thing of 2028. We're not going to. LeBron's not playing in the Olympics in 4 years. It's just not going to happen.
I know
that if the fact that we needed them, and I get that they are as good as they are to do it. I don't think you can trust Devin Booker to go win you a game or Jason Tatum to go win you a game when you're down 17. That game might be over. That game just might be over with the other guys on the roster, other than maybe Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, and Jokic will be 33. Will he be the best player in the league or the world at that time? I don't know.
Probably not.
No. So things change. Wemby could be the best player on earth at that point in time, and it'll be on France. There'll be a problem. Just worry about that in 2028.
With all these guys getting drafted from France, maybe.
Up next, someone that you might have to worry about in the NFL this year and for the next decade plus is in Chicago, but Bink is very upset with some of his comments. And we did have some preseason football last night, and we wasted our time with kickoffs again.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Subscribe and download the 249 Miles of Football podcast hosted by Drew Nixon on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts, with new episodes released every Wednesday. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here, and let me tell you about my friends over at Window World. 816-799-0820. It is hot in the Kansas City Metro. We are in the middle of the summer. And what I want to do is I want to help your home be more energy efficient and keeping the hot air out. In just over 20 years of business, Window World has improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 54,000 homes right here in Kansas City. And right now, they're offering an incredible deal. They're giving you 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. What I love most is, aside from major holidays, they have somebody there answering your questions 7 days a week. So if you got a question right now, pick up the phone and call my friends over at Window World, get a free home estimate, and they can show you how they are simply the best for less. They're the official window managed by the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have had the same team in place for 20 years, and that team wants to help you. 816-799-0820, Window World.
Your new happy place is coming to Overland Park August 10th. The PGA Tour Superstore is opening at 6621 West 109th Street. Step into golf paradise with the largest selection of gear, indoor practice space, and our state-of-the-art performance studio. We're giving away over $30,000 in free clubs, apparel, and more. August 10th, visit the PGA Tour Superstore in Overland Park and find your new happy place. Learn more at PGATourSuperstore.com/Overland Park.
Are you getting ready to escape on a summer adventure? Make your summer travels easy and stress-free with Casey's #1 airport parking destination, Park and Go. All spots are covered so your vehicle will stay clear of the elements. Quick and easy shuttle services pick you up right at your car and take you straight to the terminal. Always the best service and always the best price at bookparkandgo.com. Open 24/7, fast and hassle-free. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. That's right. Golden Oak has 5.375% fixed rates available right now. Our average cash-out customer saves over $1,000 a month. Call today and take advantage of our 5.375 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.934 APR. FHA 15-year 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As school messes return, rest easy. Clorox has got your back to school.
Oh, no. I'm back. That messy science experiment. And I brought baking soda, cornstarch.
And you're due tomorrow, right? Well, at least I stocked up on Clorox disinfecting wipes. Because you're not messing up my kitchen counters like last time.
Ooh, smart. Got any food coloring?
And off to the store we go.
Stock up on Clorox disinfecting wipes that clean 3 times better than what paper towels and kitchen grease and soaps come. Use as directed.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. So whether you're planning for retirement or trying to save up for your next big adventure, Vanguard will help work alongside you to set personalized investment goals. That's the value of ownership. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Vanguard Marketing Corporation, distributor.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Starting August 15th, we're moving to 96.5 The Fan, your new home for MIZ, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF, HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Because we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop bosses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come
11 o'clock hour, Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, Jay Binkley with you. Cody's back on Monday. He was texting us from the waiting room of the doctor's office, as a matter of fact, just a few minutes ago. So we'll find out on Monday how that's going. We have a pickleball game tonight that we're playing in. I don't know if you heard about this, Bink. We have a grudge match with our sister station and our friends Stainham Parks.
Yeah, I heard you guys discussing it this morning, going over the rules. Just
I have no idea what I'm doing. No clue what I'm doing.
Seems to be popular, though. Seems like every place has pickleball courts
Sure.
now. There's like 3 or 4
Chicken and
bars up north that have
pickle, what is
char
it,
bars got 'em.
serve. There's a bunch of specifically pickleball places that are out there.
54th
but-
Street's got them up north.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. If you wanna watch and stuff, we'll be out at Bartle Hall this evening, PickleCon. 7:00, I think, is when the match actually gets underway.
I like pickles and Bloody Marys.
You can have some of those and just watch.
Yeah.
You could do that as well. How are you doing, by the way? I picked up something for you.
Yeah.
And I felt weird after I bought it or why I was buying it.
Yeah.
You freaked out a little bit. You have to admit, you freaked out a little bit this morning.
I lost my phone. No, something different.
You didn't have chew.
Yeah.
You
Didn't
have
it.
any chew.
Alex went and got me some, meaning he ordered chew for the very first time in his life. And I told him this is like the modern day version of like when I grew up and you went and bought a Playboy and you put like Field and Stream ahead of it or whatever. Then you went to the counter to buy that magazine. See, you had to feel weird going, yeah, give me some Coke, man.
I definitely.
And he asked if you wanted more than one.
Yes, the person at the counter did. I'll be honest,
Full
it was.
log.
I wasn't quite. It wasn't like awkward, but because I had never. I don't chew, obviously, but it was almost like when you're buying condoms for the first time. That's what I felt like as I was.
A little bit awkward.
Should have had you pick those
when
up too.
when I was buying you chew, because they're like, what do you want? I'm like, that because I've Copenhagen, the long cut, the wintergreen.
I think this is the right one.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah, and they're like, you want multiple ones? I'm like, why would I need multiple ones?
We just got you going on buying chew. Got Drew on right before the 4th of July shooting a firecracker off for the first time, slamming a Coors Light, which he's never done.
I feel like
in some way I'm having an effect, on you guys, and what you do. I like it. It's cool.
Oh, I needed to make sure you could get through the show with me. You needed that to get through the show, and I'm glad we
Red
had
Bull
that
too, because we don't have any in the company kitchens.
So. You can wait till 1 for a little beer. You'll be
I'll
good.
have beer, yeah.
Do we have like 5 seconds for one thing, real quick?
5 seconds, of course.
Joel Embiid said next Olympics he might play with
you're
Cameroon.
still on this.
No. He said he might play with Cameroon in the next Olympics. You cannot country hop.
No, you can't do that. What the hell's he thinking?
Well, if he gets a gold, he was get a gold medal with multiple countries. He's not going to get one with Cameroon, but yeah.
He wanted a gold medal and then is going to go back. No
it's just
way.
Embiid being Embiid. Don't worry about it. You're very
right.
worried about 2028. Drew's looking ahead. So much is going to happen in the next 4 years. Think about what the 4 years prior to this, what happened in the world. You're so focused and concerned about 2028. I don't know why.
C-Dot did come in and I was like, who's it going to be? He goes, Jason Tatum. I was like, no, it's
Yes.
not. It is not. It is not going to be Jason
All right,
Tatum.
we'll mark the tape here. August 9th,
Mark it right
2024.
now.
Some of these Olympians, though, are going by their parents' heritage or whatever and skip it because it's easier to make the Olympic team. The guy who won the pole vault and set like the record for it grew up in Louisiana, went to LSU, and he was pole vaulting for Sweden. Because his mom's of Swedish descent and his dad's not. But he grew up in Louisiana, went to LSU, but he's playing for Sweden. It's like, what?
He would have made Team USA, though, because he's
he
the
would
world
have.
record holder.
I wish he would have. Yeah, he would have. But he's with Sweden, and it's okay. He went to LSU, dude.
Someone on the text line is more
You grew up here.
pessimistic than I am. They said Drew's worried about 28. We might not be alive.
Wow.
Settle
Jeez.
down. I'm hoping to still be alive. I would think so.
It's in Los Angeles. You can go see it.
You could.
Just get in your car and head out there.
Are we going to have any events here, or is it too far of a stretch?
Oklahoma City is going to have some events. I think softball, maybe. And other than
that makes sense.
Other than that, it'll all be out in LA.
Is pickleball going to be an Olympic sport by then? Because I feel like if you're having PickleCon
I
in
would
KC,
say
then
if break dancing, which started the day in the Olympics, that will definitely be in. Pickleball will be in the Olympics.
Flag football is the big one in 20.
Flag football will be
It's
exciting.
gonna
Plenty
be
of
kind of
time.
fun.
Well, plenty of time, Drew, to worry about how the flag
All right.
football. Maybe Caleb Williams will be participating because Bink, you were upset about 2028 already. Bink was upset about comments from a young quarterback in this league that hasn't even played a snap in the NFL yet. Caleb Williams will make his NFL debut for the Chicago Bears tomorrow. We know the Chiefs got a preseason game. We'll get back into them during the Chiefs Red Half Hour. But he was talking to Kay Adams.
Yeah.
She's been doing kind of a training camp tour. I don't know if she's come to Kansas City yet. I haven't seen her up there, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But I know she was in a few other markets in camps here recently. But she interviewed Caleb Williams talking about, just adjusting to the NFL, talking about quarterbacks he appreciates. And you played this cut for Drew and I multiple times this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted us to be angry with you.
I do. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's hear it in its entirety. And it starts off a little bit slow, and then it gets into the meat and the crux of what he was saying.
When he would play for Detroit, I enjoyed
He's talking
watching
about
him,
Stafford.
but I wasn't so young, but I was younger, and I didn't really understand. And then I got older and older, and then I started to understand his game. He's unbelievable. Like there's a couple plays where he'll get a play action, and he has the backer on a string. Like he wants the backer to go here, he'll go there, and he'll throw it right behind his head at the perfect touch, perfect velocity. And so he's unbelievable. I don't know how. I think it was 46, right? On the top 100, 56.
I don't even
top
know.
100.
I didn't look.
It was something unbelievable that he
You were
shouldn't
not
have
happy.
been. I was not happy
Where
about
would
it.
you put him?
He was in the right
Matthew
spot.
Stafford is probably. I don't think I can name two or three quarterbacks that play the position better than Matthew Stafford.
Wow.
Not obviously playing right now. I'm not saying
42. He was 42 on the
42.
list.
I don't know how he's 42.
You're telling me he's better than Josh Allen. He's better than that. That's
Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford. Aaron Rodgers right now in the game is my
course.
number one QB.
Yes. Which we love.
Obviously, last year he got hurt and things like that, so that's it kind of varies for the top 100. But
you don't play Aaron. You play Matthew, though.
Yeah, Matthew's
Week
top
4.
2 in the league.
You're playing in week 4.
Is it really money?
I know. He's top 2 in the league. I give him his respect. I watch his game. I try and mimic things and get after.
Yeah. Does he owe him money?
He likes Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers.
Evidently.
What's the problem? What's the problem with what he said?
Maybe out in L.A. when he was at USC, they had a connect. I don't know what's going on. 'Cause she didn't bring up Mahomes there, but he put Stafford ahead of even like Josh Allen. Come on, man. And that means that he's better than Mahomes because Caleb Williams says Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford are his top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
It's his opinion.
It's a wrong opinion.
Now I can see how the NFL.
It's a wrong opinion. Matt Stafford is not 30. Okay, if you had 32 general managers and you had Mahomes or Stafford and Josh Allen, Stafford ain't getting any of those votes. He's not getting any of those votes.
So now we know why the list that we no longer are allowed to bring up on the show. I know I'll allow it because you're filling in, Bink, but we've come to agreement on this show that we no longer will discuss the NFL Top 100 list, whether Mahomes is number 1 or not. We're done with it because it's irrelevant. And this is another example.
And the voting's done Thanksgiving to years. You talk about that? Yeah.
And you wonder how that happens where Mahomes ends up 4. Well, you have Caleb Williams who hasn't had a chance to vote yet because he's a rookie, but you have players for whatever reason. It's a player they grew up watching or whatever, and Matthew Stafford is underrated when he's healthy. I think he is a top 10 quarterback in this league. He's obviously not the best quarterback in the league. But why are you getting us so angry?
I would
it's a
worry
rookie quarterback that in the NFC that hasn't done anything yet in the league.
I would worry about this guy in the way he views football. And number 1 overall pick, I would be concerned with that. That Matt Stafford is not the guy you want to emulate. He's been compared to Mahomes his whole way coming up through, and then Josh Allen's there too. I'm telling you, you have 32 general managers in the draft. You're taking Stafford, Josh Allen. He thinks he's better than Joe Burrow too, so put Joe Burrow in there and Mahomes. He's getting no votes. Stafford's getting no votes with that crew. None.
So you're saying that
I worry about Caleb
31
Williams.
other cities should be offended by
Yes,
what?
they absolutely should. There's Caleb Williams talking the stupid stuff. I mean, he always just thought he's can do whatever Mahomes can do his whole way coming up. But for Caleb Williams to say that Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now is blatantly wrong. And if I'm Chicago, I'm worried about my number 1 all pick not being, thinking of the game of football and how you actually win games. Go ahead, emulate Matt Stafford. I know Matt Stafford won a title, but you know what? Aaron Donald and that defense had a big part of doing that.
Yeah, so look, I disagree. Right. I definitely disagree. I think he is incorrect that Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the league. That is
so
more
we can
than
agree
fair.
He's wrong.
Yes, but also to Drew's point,
Drew does not have a point.
The quarterback for the Chicago Bears, part of his job is not to have correct takes on the entire NFL. Because, again, the NFL Top 100 has shown us that players, for whatever reason,
They should take his Heisman back.
Okay. Is this the whole Gen Z
he
thing?
didn't make the college football playoffs. He lost to Utah twice last year. And now this guy's going to put Stafford as the number 1 quarterback? Hey, beat Utah, Caleb.
Is this the whole Gen Z thing with Caleb Williams that you and a lot of people don't like anyway? Like that, there's a lot of people. Let's be honest. If people
a lot of people don't like him.
People can tell on themselves a little bit, but like that, some people they haven't seen him play a snap yet. And
I like the way he plays football. I just don't like that.
And
opinion.
he is getting hyped up. But some of the other stuff you reference, like some of it, I think people there was a video from Hard Knocks this week that came out, and he was sitting down in his coach's office or GM office, I don't remember, and he picks up what is a bag. And people were saying he picked up a purse.
Yeah, I don't think
and
that's
people
fair. Chris Long said he
people
had
were
one just like
attacking
it.
like the whole masculinity thing or whatever. And it's just this is the Gen Z thing. And so there's a lot of people that are just want him to fail because of that. Like they just don't get it. There's a big disconnect. He's the first Gen Z quarterback in the NFL, and so it's different. The same thing we went through. I'm a millennial. That people are like, oh, these millennials are idiots. Now people are like, oh, the Gen Zs are idiots. Like this is what we do in history.
Drew Moore
like
the Tide Pod Eater generation.
What's that?
Is Drew Moore the Tide Pod Eater generation?
Yeah, that was specifically Drew. Actually,
hold on. I am a millennial. Let's
so am I.
not get it twisted. Like, yeah.
But I do think some of it, like the text, I'm not going to read the text that you sent in, sir, or
Y'all
whoever.
don't like Caleb
but some of it is that.
Williams.
Some of it, like that exact text we just got.
Haters, man.
He's a straight blink. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with football. There's people that don't like because he's not chewing dip and having, and he's not having a Bud Light on the side. Well, I guess Bud Light wouldn't work for some people either, but you get my point.
Well, I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about those comments he just made right there.
Yeah.
That's the crux of it. I don't care what bags he carries or anything. The whole fact that this guy is obviously oblivious. He's oblivious to reality if you think, Matt, because I'm telling you.
I think it doesn't matter.
Drew, answer this honestly. 32 GMs, Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Matt Stafford, and you could take either one of them. How many votes is Matt Stafford getting out of 32? I'm going to tell you right now, 0.
And that's fine.
But he's not a GM, though. I guess that's the thing. Like, you're letting Caleb Williams making you too upset here.
Caleb Williams saying that Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers are the best players probably
is he only money?
Is because he likes them. Like he likes the game. Like he talked about Stafford, the way Stafford plays. Like it's not a hey, right now he's number 1 in the league. Like he referenced Stafford's ability in Detroit to throw the foot. Like he thinks that
but he said
he's
right
one of his
now
favorite players.
This has zero bearing on what Caleb Williams either could suck this year or be the rookie of the year. And these comments have no bearing on that. That's all. None whatsoever.
I'm just saying, Caleb Williams, he's pretty arrogant.
If they go to the Super Bowl, like Nick Wright says, are you going to be respectful?
What quarterback isn't slightly arrogant and confident? I mean, come on now. We see this all the time. You're telling me that
a lot of times that doesn't work, but it's the guys that are humble.
Some of the names you just mentioned are very
the best in the business. One of the most humble dudes you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but he's still
Josh Allen's extremely humble. Joe Burrow's humble.
He's actually better than everybody, so that's why it's okay. But what if Mahomes was the 5th best quarterback? I bet you he would still think he's better than everybody.
The only thing Matt Stafford does extremely well is chug beer. Because whenever he did those videos and he was like slamming 32 ounces, I give him credit for that.
That's just disrespectful to Matt Stafford, Bink.
Did you Matt Stafford's fine, but he's not one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. That is just
to
heinous.
Caleb Williams, though he might be.
Well,
it doesn't.
What world is he living in?
It's all
his own world. It doesn't.
Planet
it's
Caleb?
in his head. It doesn't matter.
That is exactly what it is. Coming up in 5 minutes, we'll get to the trash of the day. Thinking of young quarterbacks, last night we saw one of them. I thought we were going to get Drake May versus Bryce Young. That did not happen. There was preseason football. Bryce Young didn't even play, which I know that's the thing teams are doing, not having quarterbacks play. But Bryce Young was terrible last year because the team around him also stunk. I can't believe with a brand-new offensive-minded head coach, they didn't have Bryce Young playing yesterday. To me, that was a mistake by Carolina. I think that's a misstep. Drake May played, really didn't do anything, barely played. Wasn't much to see there. My takeaway from the game was 2 things. This is now up to a 3-game sample size. Not 1 like last Thursday, 3, so still small. The new kickoff rule is still a waste of time.
Couldn't agree more.
The goal of the kickoff, some would say, well, the NFL just wants returns. And they'll say, Gold, but there's more returns. True, but if every return is going to the 25 or 26-yard line, we're still wasting our time. Just give the ball at the 25 every time and be done with it. We know they're not going back to the old kickoffs from 2012 or whatever.
They might, though, because it's a 1-year deal.
That's what. Well, no, from the rules that were prior to this change.
That changed,
I'm talking,
but this
new
safety.
kickoff
Rules for 1 year.
Correct. For one rule.
There's going to be a lot of criticism, I think.
If this doesn't work, I think they would likely get rid of him. This is, to me, the last chance for us to keep kickoffs. But if this is what it's going to look like in the regular season, this is not lasting more than a year. I understand they didn't like that the Super Bowl did not have a single kickoff return. It was touchback after touchback. But if the returns go to the 25 every time, which is the average right now,
which is what Devin Hester was saying, one of the best ever.
We're wasting our time.
Yep. We are. And remember the whole thought originally was going to be Justin Reed can kick off, right, because he's a safety, because they went back and looked at XFL film and everything that people do in this kickoff, and the kicker's involved in 20 to 25% more tackles. It's not that way. I think they're going to find out it does take that pinpoint accuracy to be in the, quote, landing zone, because if you hit it there, you have to return it. Like, they have to return it. The whole stop and start thing, not a fan of this rule at all. I don't like the onside kick rule being only in the fourth quarter when you're down, and you have to announce it. I always enjoy that. I know onside kicks aren't, foolproof, and they're, not a high success rate of them, but there's nothing better than coming out in the second half, and you see something on film and you drop that onside kick out there. So onside kicks typically don't work at the end of the game when teams know exactly what you're doing. But they have a success rate if teams don't know what you're
Sean
doing.
Sean Payton or whatever in the Super Bowl against the Colts.
They have a success rate if you don't know what you're doing. On film, you see these, the defenders are all going backwards and say, we can do this onside kick. It takes that strategy out of the game. That's a big problem. I just hate this new kickoff. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The NFL can't get any more popular than it is right now. Just keep it.
I think you guys are being too harsh, all right? Look, and I'm going to take this stance. You're being rude to the game of football for trying to add an extra ounce of strategy in there, ability. We're paying kickers all this amount of money. They need to do more.
Not for kickoffs. We're not paying it. Harrison Butker's new deal is not because of kickoffs. His new deal is because that dude can make a 58-yarder in the most pressure situation possible.
Yeah, the guy's money, and that's why he got his money.
If the Chiefs need him to pooch a ball up and have it dot right on the 20 or like the 10-yard line and have it sit there, then he should be able to do it.
I think Butker's going to be a real weapon with this. I think he will be.
Again, he might not even be the one kicking though. At the same,
it sounds like Tobe wants to go that direction.
Now it's going to be Butker.
But I think you guys are it's an extra inkling of strategy. I like it.
So I like the idea of it, and I get it. It's still a small sample size. Let's see what happens in the first few weeks of the NFL season. But so far, and all I can go off of, Drew, is the current evidence, which is 3 games, but that's what I have after this weekend. And tomorrow, I'll have another 10 games to look at. So far, I think people should admit, though, that it hasn't done anything.
Right.
Like, yes, some would argue and say, well, the NFL just wants returns. Whatever they just want them. Okay, you're right. We have not had touchbacks in the preseason because of this. That's true. If that's all we wanted, then fine. But if the average return is still the 25-yard line, it's a waste of time. And I'm not saying I thought that suddenly we were going to have 2 kickoff returns a game. I don't want that either. That'd be ridiculous too. But there hasn't been more excitement. Stop with it. That it's not exciting seeing me have a kickoff under the new rule where they grab the ball at the 5 and then they're tackled at 25. That's not exciting. It's just a waste of time is all it is.
It's not exciting with everybody going to their cell phones looking up new kickoff rules when they see it happening and trying to explain.
But there's the one
what
chance
the kickoff
that
rule is.
Xavier Worthy gets the return and takes it to the house. You eliminate that
But
opportunity.
he still had great kickoff returns anyway. Even Devin Hester, the best that's ever done, just went into the Hall of Fame. Even commented on it. He says, we're not seeing the big returns like you expected. This guy knows it because he did it. He's in the Hall of Fame for being a kicker. I just like the way it was, man. Just keep it that way.
But they're not going back to the way it was because they changed it due to safety, and that's what led to teams just doing the touchback.
Yeah,
they were fine
and the
with
onside was changed because you only have 3. You had to have 3 guys at least on one side of the ball.
We'll see. I mean, the national show that I do on Saturdays on BetQL and Infinity Sports Network, our sister station or our network with our company, totally disagreed with me and just said that basically as long as people are returning kicks, then it's a win. And I just completely disagree. So we'll see how it plays out.
I don't call it a win, but I mean, it's what I think it's more of what they want because I think safety is the main reason. But I do think the fact that there is action. Somebody texted in, guys, kickoff is a bathroom break or fresh beer breaks. Nothing changed. Look, if you miss a kickoff return for a touchdown in a big game, then that's on you because that's possible.
Yeah, I hope on Monday
you're not eliminating that possibility.
I think some teams are just going to rely on their defense, just kick it to the end zone and put it at 35.
Well, there's no reason to do that right now. So far,
the worst average in the NFL was 16 yards a return.
But there's no need to. Nobody's going to want to kick it in the end zone if these are going to be the actual results. If teams are not able to get it past the 26-yard line, let's see how the rest of the weekend goes, and let's see the first 2 weeks of the regular season. When if you believe in, hey, teams are holding everything back, and like just magically suddenly they're going to do everything different on the kickoffs. That I can wait for. But right now it hasn't been great. All right, Drew.
Trash of the day.
All right, we go to Russia for this one. So there's a scandal with a chess player. This is not the same scandal from a couple years ago where there's a chess player doing some nasty things to cheat. You can Google that one if you want. This one has to do with a Russian player being accused of poisoning their rival during a tournament, Bink. A scandal has erupted in the chess world as a Russian grandmaster is accused of attempting to poison a rival. The incident has led to the player's suspension, raising questions about the extreme lengths to which competitors might go in the high-stakes world of chess. The case has captured widespread attention. So it is alleged that this individual was playing chess, has a rival. During a tournament, there's camera footage of one of the contestants smearing what is believed to be mercury on the chessboard of their rival and the pieces, causing that rival to experience severe dizziness and nausea.
They must not be a grandmaster then. I mean, are they really a grandmaster if they're out here poisoning opponents?
But we did see cheating in the hot dog contest, so cheating in chess would only be the next logical step.
The video shows that what appears to be a thermometer being poured, a substance directly from the thermometer, right, the mercury, onto the chessboard in pieces. And then she quickly leaves the room, unaware that her actions were being recorded, so that she got caught. And they were detained by local authorities and now facing criminal charges, including a lifetime ban for the sport and possible jail time.
Yeah, way to just
cheating
ruin
in chess with mercury.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think everything now is on the board for cheating. I think once chess and there's cheating, I think that, like I said, the hot dog contest, she had cheating.
I mean, Russia's not even in the Olympics because they
No.
cheat. They're not in the Olympics right now.
Mercury. Oof.
I mean, it's not only cheating, it's like a attempted
Murder?
murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got legal ramifications there.
Someone says that's just 4D chess, baby. Yeah.
You good at chess?
No, terrible. I played like twice in my life.
Really?
I watched the what was it on Netflix? The Queen's Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I learned a few things there. That's about it. You know, Drew, do you ever see the Queen's Gambit?
I have not, but
You see Queen's
I have
Gambit?
not seen Queen's Gambit.
I've played chess maybe once or twice, the same as you,
I
Gold.
used to play chess all the time. I loved it.
I'm not
Good,
able to
fun
do it.
game.
Why don't you play 'em?
It's better checkers. Well, who am I going to play with? Well, I've played online a lot.
Play wherever.
Checkers is for the idiots like Gold and I who just like to play to have fun.
Correct.
And
That's Connect Four.
That's what we Connect 4.
Checkers, at
Checkers
least, you
is
know.
great.
Yeah, checkers I played in elementary school or whatever, you know.
It's quick.
But
The game doesn't take forever. There's some strategy, but not too much where it's overcomplicated.
chess, there's all these different moves and openings and things like that, and I have no idea what
Piece
any
names,
of them are.
yeah.
No idea what any of
Am
them
I
are.
red or am I black? That's all I need to know.
I like when they play the full-size people in chess and they just move them, you know, the full-size people on the chessboard. And the old saying, you know, they're playing chess. The others are playing checkers.
Yeah, the Chiefs are playing chess.
The others are playing
Uh-huh.
checkers.
That's right. That's the trash of the day, Bink.
I'll stick to playing checkers.
Seems like a good idea for all of us. It's kind of how I feel about pickleball tonight. Like, I feel like I'm walking in blind. It's like me playing chess. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing tonight at this PickleCon thing.
I think it is. You've played ping pong, obviously. It's more like
And I'm terrible at
It's
it.
more like tennis than it is ping pong.
And
I
I've
think
never really played tennis.
ping pong is. Yeah, it's more like tennis. It's not. I think you'll get the hang of it more. Not to say that I guess you'll be great at it, but
Definitely not.
You'll get the hang of it. I think. Pretty quickly. I would.
Is it that much more fun than
assume.
tennis?
People love it. People love a little pickleball.
I think racquetball is better sport than that, but whatever.
I'll say this. Not that I was anti-pickleball or it being a sport, but I will say having played pickleball, I do actually enjoy playing pickleball.
Well, we'll have some fun tonight out at PickleCon.
You're a ringer.
Brought Hall. Yeah, Drew's subbing in for me after the first serve. One serve. Depending on how it goes, I'm out.
Fine by me.
I'm out. All right, up next, Chiefs Red Half Hour. We'll get back into the crazy rumors around Dallas and the Chiefs with a wide receiver, plus what one publication says about some division winners in the NFL. We'll do that next on Cody and Gold.
Cody and Gold. Make sure to follow the show on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
Wouldn't you like to save a couple minutes and not have to rush every single morning putting in your contacts? Doesn't have to be that way anymore. All you got to do is find out if you're a candidate for LASIK, vision correction procedure like I was over at Dury Vision. 913-491-3330 or online at duryvision.com. You could just wake up and start your workday refreshed, clear-sighted because of LASIK. It has been incredible to just wake up and see every single day now. I don't need contacts. I don't need glasses. It has been the best decision I've ever made. And I trusted the folks over at DuraVision because they've been doing it since vision correction procedures were around. In fact, their staff has performed over 65,000 vision correction procedures. They're simply the best in Kansas City. I trusted them with my eyes. You should as well. You just got to schedule that free consultation. You can do that online at DuraVision.com or give them a call at 913-491-3330 and even conduct that consultation over Zoom if you need to as well. Just call them up, go online, and tell them Gold from 610 sent
The
you.
best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams in all of your favorite sports. From basketball to badminton and soccer to swimming, FanDuel has it all. So don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/610Bob. That's FanDuel.com/610Bob to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Make history this summer by attending Kansas City Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri. There's still time to join me for year 12 of Chiefs training camp in St. Joe. For more details, go to stjomo.com. stjomo.com. In St. Joe, you'll discover 150 years of history, where the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. Experience history, make history. Go to stjomo.com. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Are you in need of top quality metal for your next project? Look no further than Metal by the Foot. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. The Foot. Blue Demon Welding Supplies, filler rods, and wire. The Foot. Thronius Professional Welding Equipment, service and repairs. The Foot. Located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the Foot.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. So whether you're planning for retirement or trying to save up for your next big adventure, Vanguard will help work alongside you to set personalized investment goals. That's the value of ownership. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Vanguard Marketing Corporation, distributor.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
Woo! This is so fun! I can't wait to go home.
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, when you switch, you can keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner, the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
And a reminder, starting next Thursday at 6 a.m., 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports, your home for Chiefs football. So you'll be hearing Mitch Holtis throughout the football season, including in preseason game number 2 next week. You'll be hearing Mitch, Danon, Kling, Dan Israel, all on 96.5 The Fan as we all move over there. Really excited about that. Bink, you were rocking the hat a little bit earlier. If you guys weren't listening to the show yesterday, or frankly, if you weren't paying attention to the news because it was on TV stations and stuff, yesterday they were talking about it. Next Thursday, 6 a.m., beginning with Fesco and Dusty, we switched to 96.5 The Fan, man.
Nothing changes. I had a lot of those questions last night as far as the app. The app stays the same. It'll probably change to 96.5, but is what it'll say, but it stays the same.
App.
You don't need to change anything in your phone. Twitter, all that. Corporate's going to probably change that over to 96.5. 610 will still be here. It'll be The Fan, 6:10 a.m., so it gives us flexibility to have things on both stations. But yes, the Chiefs, because that comes in a lot too. Yes, the Chiefs will be on 96.5 this year. You don't have to go anywhere. It stays right there. Royals, everything, crystal clear FM. It's a great move. Not actually moving. We're not moving studios.
No, same studio, same company,
text lines.
Everything.
People worried about the text lines. It's staying the same. Text line, phone line, everything's the same.
Next Thursday, 6 a.m., 96.5.
Club 610 may have to
The
change.
Fan. Someone says, "Will block texters be unblocked?" Well, I see your text, so
No.
you are not blocked. If you think you're blocked, I did see your text.
That came in last night too. They be unblocked. No, it's the same text line, so everything stays the same.
Yeah,
you're blocked. You're blocked.
Yeah, I don't know all the finer details on some of that, so as far as I know, it's staying the same, Bink, but I have no idea. Let's talk some Chiefs football, and one move that I just don't think is realistic yet. Social media was talking about it a little bit, and there's a mess down in Dallas where you have Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, all three of the better players at their position in the league, all wanting new deals, all do. It was a failure by Jerry Jones and that organization not to get one or two of these deals done earlier or whatever, so you're not in this position where you're competing with yourself to reset the market or be the highest paid. And the reason why this relates to the Chiefs a little bit is yesterday Jerry Jones commented about CeeDee Lamb in particular, their star wide receiver, and says he's not concerned about getting it done quickly. He has no urgency. He said, you can take any reason you want. He basically doesn't know why he hasn't got it. He said, you can pick any reason why you want, why we haven't got a deal done with him. CeeDee Lamb responded, LOL on Twitter. He also removed the phrase America's team from his Twitter bio. And so anytime there's a Twitter change, people start to dive deeper into former teammates, for example.
Just got real.
You know, you got Hollywood Brown, who's in Kansas City, played with him at Oklahoma, changed his cover photo. Right, him and CeeDee Lamb have the cover photo where they're both in their Oklahoma days, and that was
Brown
where
already have his up. I think CeeDee changed his, but
one of them changed.
I think Hollywood still had that up.
And so that's why people have made the link or whatever. There's just no reason why I would think if you're the Chiefs at this point, you would entertain a serious trade. I don't think, Jerry Jones is trading him, but FanDuel put up a trade scenario. Reminder, this is just from FanDuel. This is not someone reporting that this is being discussed. It said, would the Chiefs make this move? Who says no? Chiefs get CeeDee Lamb, one of the top 5 receivers in football. The Chiefs give up Rashee Rice, a 2025 first-round pick and a 2026 first-round pick. Honestly, no. Who says no? Me, the Chiefs. I think everybody says no in this scenario. CeeDee Lamb would require $30 million a year. He would. Plus multiple to start. Plus to get multiple first-round picks the other way. And I would trade away Rashee Rice, who has multiple years of control. I understand that he might be suspended at some point. And you're paying him nothing. No, absolutely not. This team values draft picks far too much. I always struggle. At some point in time, they'll do it, but they just 3 years ago would not pay Tyreek Hill $28 million. Why do we think they're going to go trade for a guy after winning multiple rings without him and pay him $30 million, him being CeeDee Lamb, and give up multiple first-round picks? It makes no sense to me. I also just don't think CeeDee Lamb's getting traded, maybe in the offseason if they tag and trade him.
And Dallas really hasn't done a lot with the Chiefs since that Parker Anger for Charvarius Ward deal. They wouldn't do business with the Chiefs in the draft that was here in Kansas City. When Kansas City possibly wanted to move down there, Dallas wasn't interested in that. I think Belichick will end up being that coach next year. The Chiefs, hey, this is how they do their work. They have the best front office in the NFL right now. They're the best at talent evaluation. You know, even going into last year, they had 21 of the last 22 draft picks that even goes through COVID that are still on this roster. And that is amazing because that's the only NFL team that can say this. 2 years ago, they drafted for necessity because you have those 5 rookie defensive backs that played against Philadelphia. Your leading rusher makes on average $937,000 a year. And Isaiah Pacheco is considered a top 5 back in the NFL. They get him in the 7th round. They do. Mike Dana, 5th-round pick, didn't even go to the combine. Trey Smith, starter, 6th-round pick. Again, Patrick Mahomes is the only first-round pick on offense last year for a Super Bowl champion team. That includes the offensive line, anything. Patrick Mahomes was. Now they got 2 because Hollywood Brown is a former number 1 pick, and, of course, Worthy out there as well. But they won a Super Bowl with only 1 first-round pick, meaning they do their damage in the draft. And that 4 years of control or having the 5 years. That's why I was shocked at Buffalo with Keon Coleman, because now you get 4 years of control with him instead of 5. You know, when Buffalo decided to trade with the Chiefs, they gave up that 5th year of being able to hold on to a team. But, yeah, the Chiefs have the advantage, and they're still, as we say right now, the only team in the NFL that's paid their quarterback and then won. We see all these, you know, outrageous quarterback contracts from what Josh Allen got, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence now, soon to be Dak Prescott. We see all these guys getting paid, but there's no rings. And the Chiefs have found a way to pay Mahomes, and they found a way to win at the same time, meaning their front office is just better than anybody else's. So they're not going to give away picks because they do damage with those picks and make this team younger and younger. It's what they've done. They flipped this roster, basically.
Like I've seen this thought a lot. This is the second text, that's why I'll bring it up. 913-586-7610. Someone says, hey, the only way they could do this would they, you know, hey, you're going for a three-peat, go all in, mortgage the future. Here's my pushback on that, because that was a conversation back in February when we discussed, hey, now they got to go. Cody and I were going back and forth on this in February. You know, now they have to go all in. And my response to it then, and instilled to this text now, is what they've been doing and how they've approached the draft and free agency and building the roster has led to them going back to back. Why would you, while you're going for a three-peat, suddenly change the way you've operated? They've operated by making smart decisions. And I would also just argue they did upgrade the wide receiver room. They went out and signed for the money the best available free agent wide receiver in Hollywood Brown. Because Mike
happens to be on a prove-it deal.
Mike Evans was not available. Michael Pittman Jr. was not available. Calvin Ridley was out there, but look at the contract he signed. So, and then they spent another high draft pick, a first-round pick on Xavier Worthy. So they went, if you want to all in on wide receiver, in my opinion, this offseason. Of course, CeeDee Lamb's incredible, but it's just not a realistic scenario in my mind. And I also don't believe this idea of going all in. They've been all in for 3 or 4 years. This is what all in looks like, what they've been doing. They've won back-to-back championships. You don't think they were all in the last 2 years?
It's just like Brett Veach holding up the trophy at the Super Bowl parade after the Eagles game. Says this is what a rebuild looks like as he holds up the Lombardi. That always sticks with me, that quote that he said there. And the one thing is they do damage. And going back into what they do in the draft and how much they covet those draft picks and going forward. Think about this. Rashee Rice was a second-round receiver, but guess what? He was number 2 in the NFL in catches and yards for rookie wide receivers. Only Puka was ahead of him, and that was kind of an asterisk because that was the 3rd fifth-round pick of the Rams that year. So he was the 3rd best pass catcher because Laporte at tight end had more than Rice. But still, out of all those receivers that went in the first round and all that, second round, Rice was the best one. There was that notion, well, what's Brett Veach going to do when he has to draft a skill guy? And it's like, well, he just drafted the second leading receiver in yards and receptions. out of all the rookies that he could have taken last year when he needed to, he's going to be fine. So when they concentrate on that, it's different. The picks are a premium for this team.
You said something earlier, though, that you thought Belichick is coming back.
I do.
I think now he's making money broadcasting. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. I don't think he's coaching again.
Yeah, I think he still will, and he's going to do this show. It's a fantasy
Underdog Fantasy,
where he's going to be breaking down film. That's going to be epic, to be honest. It's going to be really, really good when he gets it. But what's in their plans? I know the Cowboys are not a tanking team. They're not going to. Not with Jerry Jones. That's just not what he does. It's not how. But that window of opportunity is starting to shrink with that football team, and Jerry knows it.
Well,
he sees the popularity going on in Kansas City right now.
Well, I think if they want to get rid of Dak and get a top pick, they have to keep CeeDee Lamb because they're gonna need to get rid of him in order to get that high of a pick in the first place. I think somebody brings up a good point from the 913. I'd rather have 2 to 3 Super Bowls over time than one more and then close the window of future odds to win a Super Bowl. I think in Gold, when we were talking about this, like in February and in March, I think one of the questions I asked, would you rather three-peat and only have 4 Super Bowls with Mahomes, or would you rather him win 6? And, I mean, it's because he's the only guy to three-peat, but you only win 4. Like, he don't win another one. Or you win 6 over time, and he doesn't quite reach Brady, but he gets there. He's in that conversation where you can get into the GOAT conversation in your mind.
Yeah, so for me, to me, it's an easy answer unless you adjust the number. Because if you said three-peat and you only win 3, or you win 4 but it's only 5, then I would go with the 3. You know what I mean? Like,
you'd rather three-peat and be stuck with 4.
Yeah, but you giving me the option to select 6 means you have to take the 6 because then you're only 1 shy of Brady. Like, 6 is too big of a number for me.
But you don't three-peat.
I understand, but if you're getting to 6 now, if you said I only get 4 or 5 versus three-peating, I'll take the three-peat. But 6, to me, you have to take the 6 in that scenario because you're at that point you're only 1 down. The three-peat is powerful, no question. Brady didn't do it. That'll help the long legacy conversation 15 years from now or whatever if you're just 1 short. But if Mahomes three-peats and he still is 3 or 4 rings short of Brady, then I know in Kansas City people don't want to hear it because we know talent-wise, athletically, Mahomes is already the best quarterback of all time. But the legacy conversation for the masses, for the national media, for sports fan across the globe, if Mahomes has 4 rings and three-peats and Brady has 7 and Mahomes lost head-to-head in the AFC title game and a Super Bowl, that's going to be a hard argument to overcome for a lot of people outside of Kansas City.
No, I agree with you. 100% agree with you. Texan also says I don't believe they believe CeeDee Lamb can be is as good as a more experienced Rashee Rice.
Well, CeeDee Lamb's a top 3 receiver.
The only
top 4 receiver.
The only commonality they have is they both ran a 4.5 140. Both of them ran a 4.5
They both like Dallas a lot.
But 135 catches for CeeDee Lamb, that is tough. I don't see Rice hitting that.
There's
mark.
one whose peak is like 1,500 or 1,600 yards. The other one is maybe like 1,200.
Yeah. So I don't see that happening.
You mentioned the Cowboys just in how you view them this year. So CBS Sports was going through and they were talking about the divisions, but also kind of the teams that are a class of their own. And the Chiefs, we know, are in their own class if we were to discuss tiers. And they represented the Chiefs in that way. They said, hey, tier 1, in a league of their own, there's only one team. It's the Chiefs. They're going for a three-peat. No issue there. We all agree. And then they list what they call real deal contenders, Ravens and Buffalo and Houston. I think it's interesting that already we're putting the Texans in that category with Baltimore and Buffalo. Nope, Cincinnati, by the way, listed in that tier. Tier 3.
Too disrespectful.
They go to fringe contenders. Bengals, Jets, Dolphins. Cincinnati, if you can ensure that Joe Burrow's healthy, they're not a fringe contender. They are a contender. It's just whether or not they have a healthy quarterback. Because the Jets and Dolphins are, of course, fringe contenders. That's more than fair.
I think the Texans have passed the Bills, to be honest with you. I think it's Kansas City and Baltimore. I put Houston. Listen, I know that you always worry about the one-year wonders in the NFL. We've seen it twice with the Jags whenever they went to the Blake Bortles to the title
Lions
game.
last year in a way.
We've seen these teams just fall off, but I don't see it with the Texans. I like the moves they made. DeMeco Ryans seems to know what he's doing. He kicked the hell out of the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. I think San Francisco's defense struggled since DeMeco Ryans left there and went to Houston, but I think the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, I'm buying into that team. I know you want to see him do it twice. You want to see him back it up because that's been the big problem in the NFL. It's
got real pressure now.
It's what makes the Chiefs so impressive. 6 straight AFC title games. It's so hard to get back and do that and not fall off, and they've been able to do it. Buffalo, I'm going to wait and see. I don't like that wide receiver room. They have their MVS might not even make that team. At that point, that just shows you kind of the situation that they're in. But Baltimore, I think, is tier 1.
Well, isn't that actually a good thing? If MVS doesn't make the team, couldn't you argue that's a good thing for Buffalo?
No, because it means, all the receivers are bad. I'm just saying that he's not even good enough to make that team, and that means it shows you the quality of receivers that they do have, which is even worse than that.
There is a case, I think, that you could
He
say
just drops everything.
There's a case, I guess, you could say the Bengals are fringe contenders because of the question about Joe Burrow's health.
The schedule, too.
I think that might lead you to make them fringe contenders. But I would say, I mean, if we know, again, this is like the Jalen Daniels thing. If we know if everybody's healthy, every single quarterback is healthy, I think the Bills are maybe more fringe contenders than the Bengals are because of what you said, Bink, the stuff that they've had with the wide receiver room and the depletion there. Josh Allen having to do everything. Still Sean McDermott being the head coach and not being able to get it done. There's more, I think, that leads you to believe the Bills would be fringe contenders more than the Bengals would be if everybody's healthy.
And the big concern about the Bengals is the offensive line. That offensive line seems to be better for him. Marius Mims, I think, is going to be better than I thought. Marius Mims is getting some rave reviews.
The challenge,
from what I've seen. You seen that? I've seen the Marius Mims gets, and the schedule's weak. They're again their 17th game. When you look, they play the Panthers because they were last place team. Yeah. Bengals will not be last place this year. Buffalo, I'm not buying yet, man. Because if they had the defense where they were number 1 defense. When that 13-second game, that was the number 1 defense in the NFL. Last year they were 6th in scoring defense. I think they take a step back. If Buffalo has been better than what they are this year, and to expect them to be a good contender when that roster was better on the Buffalo Bills the last couple of years than this year, not buying it.
Don't we have to say, though, if we're going to say, a real contender, start with what's the chance of you winning your division? And so let's go through the teams that we're talking about. Obviously, Kansas City is going to win the AFC West. Massive favorites they're going to. Baltimore, not so sure, but is that the one division where you could not win your division and still say you're a true contender? I think the answer is yes. That's the one division you could finish in second, and I would still say you're a contender.
Because if IU ends up in Pittsburgh, I mean, that's going to change. So, I don't think Cleveland's going to be that great.
So you could lose the division crown and still come out of that division as a contender. I think that's true. Can you say the same thing? The AFC East, like Buffalo's the favorite on paper. The odds markets at FanDuel and everything say that.
New England sucks.
New England is going to be terrible. The Jets, I think they got a great roster. Questions about the coach.
Question mark.
And Rodgers, once again, is a major storyline. What's he going to be? And then Tua in Miami, they still have all the speed.
That's a team I have taken a step back is the Dolphins.
So that's where when we're having the conversation about who's a contender. I think Buffalo is absolutely still a contender because in that division, like the path to they have a more likely chance to win their division than Cincinnati has to win the AFC North, right? They have a better chance of doing
that.
Here's
the deal, though, Alex. They were a better team, the better roster last year. They were. They're top 6 scoring offense, top 6 scoring defense. Keep this in mind.
Right.
It took them the last game of the year, beating Miami, to get into the playoffs. Yes, they were the number 2 seed. They could even be the number 2 seed or not even the playoffs. That is how close. And to be honest with you, if Kadarius Toney's on sides and not off sides, Buffalo's out of the playoffs.
Right, I know,
Buffalo didn't even make the playoffs.
There's a lot of games.
Doesn't that go to show you how good the AFC East was, though? I think last year, you could, like, if Miami would have won and they would have been the 2 seed and Buffalo were, say they were the 7, you could make a case that Buffalo would still be contenders. To your point, Gold, I think that there's even the AFC East last year was that way. I don't know if I guess it's that way this year because things are a little bit different now. But yeah, I would say the AFC North is the one division.
91 from text line 913-586-7610. This from the 816. Can Josh Allen elevate a group of misfit wide receivers like Mahomes did? Is the question. It's a very fair question, yes, and that is why I actually like, not to get too much down the road of MVP conversation, we'll have time to do that closer to the season. It's why I actually really do like Josh Allen's chances to win MVP this year, and it's why he will be someone I have a preseason bet on to win MVP, and it's not that much of a long shot. He's still got some of the best odds, but he has the narrative, I think, on his side, Bink. For all the question marks that you just listed are fair, but that's also why I like his case when it comes down to it. If Josh Allen wins the AFC East, has a really good year with everybody saying your wide receivers suck. The same thing we said 2 years ago when Mahomes won it. Yep. That, remember, it's not a postseason award, so I'm not telling you the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. But if Josh Allen wins the AFC East with what is supposed to be a bad wide receiver room or inexperience, unproven, that's the narrative, right? and he goes out and has a really good statistical season, I liked the narrative on his side over a Patrick Mahomes narrative where people are going to say, oh, Mahomes is going for a three-peat. He's got Hollywood Brown now. He's got Rice. He's got It's going to be very hard for Mahomes to win an MVP this year.
The biggest difference between Mahomes and Allen is Allen's always had that great defense. He has always played with that great defense behind him. Even last year, they were 4th in the NFL in scoring defense. Chiefs were number 2. The Bills are number 4. That defense isn't going to be that good this year with what they've lost. But Josh Allen has had that opportunity with a great defense. Even last year, he had it at home to play the Chiefs and didn't get the job done. That's why I question. To be honest with you, I would have moved on from McDermott. There's several coaches I would have moved on from. Sirianni's one, McDermott's the other one, and McCarthy in Dallas. Those are the 3 that I would have moved on from. But because I've kind of seen what they can do with the ceiling. I mean, a home playoff game, you're the number 2 seed, and you can't get the job done. Man, it's going to take a lot for me to buy back into that team.
I think scoring defense can be a little bit overrated.
Actually, I think that's the best stat in defense.
Yeah, but I don't think people were looking at the Bills last year. Like we wouldn't have guessed that the Bills would have had a top 4 defense based on how they played last year. Where were they at in turnovers? Because the Chiefs didn't create many turnovers. They were still one like that. For you to say that you're an elite defense, nobody's saying the Bills were an elite defense last year. I don't think. And I don't know. Maybe while they gave up less points, it's because they were generating turnovers. The Chiefs gave up less points, and they generated few turnovers. So that defense, you just knew that how great the Chiefs' defense was because of them still giving up the lack of points that they did while not generating as many turnovers.
They were +2 on turnovers. They were a top 10 defense overall, and they were number 4 in scoring. I mean, the defense was serviceable for them. It was good. I mean, it's not as been as good as what Josh Allen's had.
Right.
Clearly, he's had better defenses when he's done there, and he hadn't done anything with it. But, yeah, I mean, and as far as getting to the quarterback, we know Von Miller couldn't get to the quarterback. He's not even listed as their starter on their team.
He took a massive pay cut
on their team right now. But as far as sacks, Chiefs were number 2 in the NFL, and so was Buffalo. Buffalo was 4th in sacks. So they did, for all the talk about them not being able to quarterback, they got there 54 times. Chiefs got there 57 times. So the Bills were 4th in the NFL in sacks. Again, Josh Allen's had these great, number 1 and number 2 defenses and hadn't got the job done.
I think a lot of that's the Mahomes effect, man. I think that's we've said that over and over, and I'm sure we will throughout his entire career. Like, plenty of great quarterbacks. There were plenty of great NBA players. When you have Michael Jordan, when you have Tom Brady, when you have Patrick Mahomes, you can be great. Nobody's saying you could be Hall of Fame great. I mean, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, very good chance those guys are Hall of Famers when it's all said and done. Lamar Jackson, same thing, but they might be going up against the greatest of all time, and that's going to be a problem for them in terms of racking up wins in the playoffs and ultimately winning Super Bowls.
If I ever ask you this before, do you think Andy Reid, do you think Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson would have a ring if they were with Andy Reid?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember who it was early in the summer had an article. They were like swapping. Lamar Jackson would be in Kansas City, go back multiple years, and Mahomes would be in Baltimore. How many rings would each have? Mahomes would still have a ring in Baltimore.
Who would have won that game in Baltimore?
Yeah, but Mahomes would still have a ring in Baltimore. But I think Lamar Jackson also would. I think Mahomes would have 2 rings with Baltimore. If he was in that scenario, Lamar would have 1 in Kansas City for sure.
Yeah,
he'd be a 2-time MVP with 1 ring, and people would talk about him differently. It's crazy. Like, people hate on Lamar, yet he has 2 MVP awards. He's going to end up in the Hall of Fame. You have 2 MVP awards. You're going to end up in the Hall of Fame, and yet the same narrative that's always been out there about him is how it's like almost set in stone for so many people that won't alter their perspective. And he's probably the example of almost has to win a Super Bowl for people to give him probably the proper respect for what he is as a quarterback. Right? Just because someone's not Patrick Mahomes doesn't mean they're not a really good quarterback.
I think
we got to stop acting like if they're not Mahomes, they're all just kind of average, and that's just not true.
I think it's empty calories for the conversation of is he the best quarterback in football?
Nobody should be making the argument that he's the best quarterback in football. That's silly.
Because I think that's part of the. He hasn't like Joe Burrow arrived because he's beat Mahomes multiple times. He has made it to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen is really good, but Josh Allen is forever going to be really good until to me, he doesn't, in the conversation of best quarterback in the NFL, Josh Allen will never, ever get to that conversation or that point.
Nobody should, though, Drew, right? Like, nobody should, because that case is closed despite these dumb NFL top 100 lists. Like, until Patrick Mahomes essentially retires I just don't imagine he's going to be the type of quarterback that's going to play if he doesn't have it.
Yeah,
like, he's going to go out like Brady as a winner. Like, so...
But you can't even sit at, to me, none of them can even sit at the table with Patrick Mahomes other
I
than
agree.
Joe Burrow's the only guy, and Tom Brady the only people that can sit at the table with Patrick Mahomes. Nobody, Josh Allen has not.
I mean, I just disagree. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is at a table by himself right now. He's eating for dinner or table for one, please. That's where
the kids' table.
I mean, he's at a table for one, and he's sitting at the bar by himself. He doesn't need anybody else at his table.
But there's nobody worthy. Like, to me, Lamar Jackson is great, but him, you can. That's why the MVP is a dumb award now, because Lamar Jackson, as great as a player as he is, he's not the best player. So he shouldn't be winning MVPs. I think it's as simple as that. Like, Josh Allen might put up great numbers, but he's not the best quarterback, so he shouldn't be winning MVPs.
I don't want to. We got to go to break. We're late.
Hold on,
though.
It's a LeBron James argument. Patrick Mahomes should win MVP every single year. Lamar Jackson should not be winning MVPs.
I understand.
It's empty calories.
This also sounds like Mr. Cincinnati over here. Joe Burrow hasn't won an MVP award.
I didn't say Joe Burrow. I said Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I didn't mention Joe Burrow.
I do think Baltimore. You think about how good the defense was last year. You had Derrick Henry on that offense as well as they run block.
I hear you. Mahomes.
That's why Lamar Jackson is, to a lot of people, is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL because of the stuff of the defenses that he's had, and he's done nothing in the playoffs.
I gotcha. No, I get your point about the LeBron comparison. I'm just saying that, like, saying MVP award doesn't matter when your guy doesn't have one is that's a little bit of a problem. That's all I'm saying. But coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll also get right back into what's taking place tomorrow. That's the Chiefs' first preseason game. What are we looking for? What are you looking for next on Cody and Gold?
Cody and Gold.
Hey, Drew Nixon, that's just ugly, man.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco. 13 years ago, my friend Matt Moore opened Martin City Brewing Company on Main Street in Martin City. Now, more than a decade later, they have 5 pizza and taproom locations around the metro and that original pub still in Martin City. The folks at Martin City Brewing Company brew up over a dozen beers, serve over 20 specialty pizzas, and have a VIP beer club that keeps you up to date on beer releases and specials. For date night, family night, game night, or any night, folks young and old love Martin City Brewing Company.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
98.9 The Rock is proud to partner with the Drive to Zero Coalition, who invite you to join the Kansas Bands with a plan. It's simple. If you're going to be drinking at the Smashing Pumpkins concert, hop on Safe Ride, use your favorite rideshare app, or plan ahead for your designated driver. It's up to everyone. Don't drink and drive. Together, fans with a plan can prevent serious crash injuries and fatalities. This message is brought to you by the Kansas Department of Transportation and all the victims of impaired driving crashes.
Your new happy place is coming to Overland Park August 10th. The PGA Tour Superstore is opening at 6621 West 109th Street. Step into golf paradise with the largest selection of gear, indoor practice space, and our state-of-the-art performance studio. We're giving away over $30,000 in free clubs, apparel, and more. August 10th, visit the PGA Tour Superstore in Overland Park and find your new happy place. Learn more at pgatoursuperstore.com/Overland Park.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Always better with a roof from JR.
We've had more than our fair share of hail and wind this year. Are you playing Roofer Roulette? That's when you bet your roof and your home on the first random roofer to ring your doorbell. Why do that when JR & Company offers a free hail and wind report online at jrstormcheck.com? Just plug in your address and we'll pull a multi-year storm report. You'll know exactly what your roof has been put through and if you even need an inspection. If you do, no one is more thorough and works better with your insurance than locally owned, veteran-owned JR & Company. And if you need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Don't play Roofer Roulette with your home. Visit jrstormcheck.com. And remember,
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrstormcheck.com.
Make The Other Place your lunch headquarters every weekday from 11 to 3. They have 15 items that are just $8.99. We're talking about specialty burgers, fries, hand-breaded pork tenderloin, specialty salads, pastas, pizza by the slice, combos, soup and salad. Also, a selection of your favorite seasonal favorites. The Other Place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park. They've also added Mission and Belton. Great food, drink specials, The Other Place, or theotherplace.com. Your home for baseball, summer fun, and the $8.99 weekday lunch special.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
Right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Starting August 15th, we're moving to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station.
What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending. The Royals back at it tonight after the day off yesterday. The I-70 series at Kauffman Stadium. Cardinals in town. Michael Lorenzen gets the nod. He'll make his second start in a Royals uniform. Gave the Royals, 5 1/3? Nice outing against the Tigers the first go-around. Really curious to see what he does in his home debut. 7:10 first pitch. Vern's on Deck show at 6 o'clock. Right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Yeah, the Cardinals 2.5 out for a playoff spot, and they haven't played good baseball since the break, just 9-14. Royals, man, this has been must-see TV. It's weird not having the Royals on Sunday, though.
Very weird.
It happened one other time this year, didn't it?
I think that's
there was
right.
one other Sunday they didn't play, but it's very weird not having Sunday
scheduling
baseball.
quirk. I agree with Bob. I heard him say something about this the other day, and he said, man, if we were going to have a Sunday off from no baseball, could it not wait until September when the Chiefs are playing or something like that?
It's a great point. It's a great point.
I was like, that's very true. That's a good point, but that's not the case. So, yeah, weird week, 2-game series, and we're going to talk about this more at 12:30, but today sets up another really strong possibility to make up some ground, not only by winning, but the Guardians and the Twins are playing in a doubleheader today. I think they play in about an hour or so.
Yeah, doubleheader. Minnesota, to me, take care of business against Cleveland because I think the Cleveland's a much better team than Minnesota Twins, but who knows? Chiefs preseason opener tomorrow night versus the Jags. Andy Reid says the ones will play the first quarter. Yeah, that's we know
Some
better.
of the ones will. Some of them will.
Some of them will. Some of them will, I'm sure. But again, if they go out, they don't get a first down, and boom, I think the number one offense would come back out. If they move the football, they get a field goal, obviously a touchdown, they're not coming out for the second one. Travis, Patrick, or does Travis even play? I mean, I wouldn't
no
even
need
play.
to
I
even
wouldn't
play
even play
Travis.
him.
No.
See what you got in Wiley, and you got Noah Gray, got Irv Smith trying to make
Wiley
this team.
should play a lot today. We're going to talk more about this after what's trending, but Wiley should play a lot. I think we'll see a lot of Kingsley Suamataia.
You had Wiley on too, didn't you?
We did. He was one of our guests at camp.
So you did.
Next up on what's trending, Team USA basketball going to play in a gold medal game tomorrow against the host country of the Olympics, France. USA 16.5-point favorites. This after an epic comeback yesterday against Serbia. They needed Steph Curry to take over the game, and he took over the game. It was a memorable game, and could end up being the game that's more memorable, honestly, than even tomorrow, although I think the ratings are going to be huge tomorrow for USA versus France, considering not only the implications, but it's against France and Wemby and everything that's going on in that.
The
Drew
home
is
crowd
very
there is going to
concerned.
get a bump because that's what's going on in the Olympics.
If you missed earlier conversation,
I'm not concerned
Drew's
about the gold medal
very
game. I'm concerned about
He's not concerned about tomorrow. He's concerned about 2028.
He's looking forward.
4 years from now.
The future's looking rough. Other than Anthony Edwards and Cooper Flag, man, that's it.
Next up on what's trending, someone just texted in. Our friend Jayhawk for Life said there's a police chase through Olathe. Did I mention that Bink's in for Cody today? I don't know what Cody's up to.
I don't know. Let's get the call last minute.
I'm sure they're unrelated, but I can't confirm yet.
Call last
Can
minute.
you
Hey, you come
imagine?
in. Get a little problem with my co-host.
I don't know why Cody would be down in Olathe. Maybe that's where the doctor's appointment's at. I'm not sure. But
Maybe he's out practicing pickleball because don't you
we
guys
do
have a big game tonight?
We'll see if he makes it out there. We have PickleCon tonight. We're playing a grudge match
that like
against Dana and
Comic-Con,
Parks.
PickleCon?
Yes, it is.
I'll be honest.
Dana and Parks, they're going up against Cody and I. Drew's going to end up playing a lot, I think, because I'm going to be terrible.
Parks, hey, look, if you want to just take a seat and crack open a beer or something and
That's
just
what
watch,
I'm doing in about an hour during Club 610.
you might. I am ready to. I'm ready to talk some smack to Parks.
Is that your target right now? Your target's Parks.
No,
huh?
all I got to do is do a little backhand, flick the wrist a little bit to get some spin. He won't catch it. It's fine.
Look, Dana,
I'm
I think,
ready.
is very good at pickleball. She plays a lot. Parks, the question with him, ability-wise, very good. The question is, does his knees hold up? You know,
That's what I'm telling
do
you.
the knees hold up, Parks? That's the big question everybody's
Backhand
asking
slice?
tonight.
I'm ready to talk some smack because he gives me a lot of crap. Parks does, all in joking fashion,
Yeah,
of course.
We'll see if the knees hold up. And I'm going to be terrible, so I won't be talking much smack tonight during the match. I can promise you that. That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold.
Who's gonna fall first because they're trying too hard, Cody or I?
I mean, that could be me too.
How's Cody's foot?
Well, he's on a doctor appointment. We're gonna find out.
Yikes.
That matters.
Maybe they'll give him a little steroid injection in the foot.
Well, they think
He'll
too
be
is
good
that
to go.
yeah, games might take a little. Games aren't necessarily quick, even though you only play to 11.
11.
Yes.
You only
you
play
gotta
to
eat-
11 in pickleball? Okay. See, I don't know any of this.
If you're on defense, if you're defending the serve, or if you're not serving, you're looking to get the serve back. You can't score at all.
Should you get your own racket? Or are they decent?
I think they
with the
better.
places you get 'em?
Hopefully, they provide racket. They got
I
us
will
our
not
own.
buy one.
They got us. Oh, neither am I. They got.
It's
I think they'll have rackets. They got us our own T-shirts for PickleCon, and
Ours are a little bit see-through. I don't know if you noticed that.
they're see-through. They're light. They're breathable.
See-through.
They're not see-through.
No,
You're going to be nipping out?
dead serious. Dead serious.
What, did you try it on last night?
I did not. If you hold up the shirt, if I held up the shirt to that banner, you can see 610 through the T-shirt. I'm dead serious.
It's a different
We're sweating.
It's a different material. It's like it actually is labeled SPF 50. I'm not even kidding. It's because you play pickleball usually outdoors, and that was the design of the shirt that it's for this PickleCon thing. So I haven't tried.
It's very breathable.
So you're saying I need a shirt underneath, or should I just say, hey, whatever happens, happens?
I'm saying whatever happens, happens. I'm going all in, man.
See-through. I'm sure the ladies will like that.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be out there. It is open to the I think it's open to the public. Now you have to buy a ticket, but it's open to the public. PickleCon is going on all weekend. They had a big launch party last night. Saw some people were at that, and we'll find out 7 o'clock tonight, Bartle Hall. Come watch.
Drew loves these things because he gets real excited.
I'm pumped up.
You would
baby.
have really liked when we used to do the 6'10" combine.
Oh, yeah, that would have been great.
You would have been all about the 6. You know,
yeah.
the bench press, the 40, and all the fun stuff that we did on the in the 6'10" combine.
If they don't supply rackets, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm not buying a racket, and I'm not
Don't
going
worry.
to end up
Don't
not playing
worry.
it.
How
It's
much
not
is
gonna
a good
happen.
pickleball racket? How much are they?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, no, a good one? Like $100.
I have one racket that's still in the plastic that I got for free.
A good
from
racket's
a
like
giveaway,
$100.
but I don't know.
Or a paddle.
Someone says they're not supplying them. Look, I'm not. This is not trying to be
crap.
but don't worry, we're better thing. But it is a promoted grudge match. My guess is they will provide us.
You're playing
maybe not
handball.
everybody.
You're playing handball.
Yeah, I think they will provide. I think they will provide us rackets, considering the circumstances.
Do you own anything, Drew, like for competition, like darts? You know, these guys has their own dart case. You know, their own darts, their own ball for bowling, and they only. You a ringer in any other sport? Where
He says he's good at pickleball, so we'll see. We'll talk
solid.
We'll talk about more about this. I should
When's
say.
the last time you played, Drew?
Rob Collins at 1 o'clock.
On vacation, I played 6 hours over the course of 2 days.
With who?
My family, who actually is very into pickleball. My aunt and uncle are they play every single week.
So you were on vacation. You played 5 or 6 hours. You really rock, man.
His brother, your brother, is a golf pro. He's got family members that are pickleball. He's got athleticism in the family.
Drew's very athletic.
Very athletic family.
Drew, I got a lot of faith in Drew. And if we did it 6'10" combine again and we laid the odds and stuff, because I always thought big things of Rob. I way overestimated Rob.
Damn, he's not even here to defend himself.
Well, no,
he's on a honeymoon, spending time with his wife.
I believed in Rob. I went on and said, hey, I think Rob's going to win this. I believed in Rob. But Drew, I kind of believe in Drew.
Somebody said a good paddle goes for $250.
$250.
Yeah, they're very expensive. It's like a golf club almost in a way. Did you find your shirt though, Gold, or do you still need to find it?
I did.
Okay, good.
Might be a little wrinkled, but I did find it.
That doesn't matter.
I did find it. Yeah, it's hanging up in the closet now. We're good to go for this match tonight.
In your see-through shirt tonight.
I guess it's see-through. Text line says
It's a
Drew's
little bit
sounds
see-through.
very worried about it. They want to know if you have nipple rings you didn't want to tell us about.
No, look, I will play shirtless. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't think you're allowed to play shirtless. At this thing.
I know that. I'm saying I look.
Are you going to go pantless?
No, I will be wearing shorts. Well, I
that's what I mean.
will be pantless. I'll be wearing
Okay.
shorts. Yes, I guess. I'm not going to be playing pickleball in pants. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Probably will not wear pants.
Yeah, probably not tonight.
Do you have, so you would go shirtless?
Yeah.
You kind of are in a see-through shirt.
I played barefoot while we were on vacation. I'll play barefoot.
Someone suggested that we tell Cody we already have his uniform for him, and I should bring the Nutcracker costume. Two things.
The looks that he would get would be
two things with that. One, unfortunately, he already has the same shirt, so that idea. Otherwise, I'm with you. And then the Nutcracker costume, it's gone. We need a new one. It's gone forever now. It was last worn at a Chick-fil-A parking lot by our old producer. It's gone.
Somebody said shirtless blinding the opposition. I'm not as pasty as I was.
Yeah, you were at the beach for a
Not
week.
as pasty as I was.
So we'll get into this more. Rob Collins, who's
think Rob plays pickleball?
It wouldn't surprise me. So we'll talk to Rob Collins, Fox 4, Club
likes
610,
golf, though.
coming up 1 o'clock hour. We'll have a couple drinks heading into the weekend. But let's talk about this preseason game for the Chiefs tomorrow. Like, it's preseason, so I understand the excitement level for some, like Bink, is off the charts. For
Watching the game without pants.
For others, they're like, okay, whatever. There are some intriguing elements. I will be curious to see the kickoffs, just like we have talked about already from other games, and so far nothing has really changed.
Hopefully get that Hawkeye for the first downs. I don't know if we're
the
going
Hawkeye thing, which
I don't know if we have that in this game or not, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, select NFL preseason games are testing this Hawkeye technology, and instead of the chain gang, they'll still be there as a backup, but on the video board, it'll just show on a graphic the football and then a yellow line. And they did this last night in the preseason game, and it stunk. It took too long, and there was no drama, and then all of a sudden they just cut to the scoreboard, and there it was. There was no animation of like a fake chain. There was no animation of the line like slowly appearing. It was not great. So we'll see how that plays out. But for the Chiefs on a player end, we can get into way down the roster stuff. That doesn't really interest me. I'm interested in guys that have a chance to start or be second stringers and kind of be in the mix, not who the seventh wide receiver is. I'm sorry. Like, other people can nerd out on that. That's just not who I am. But I want to see what Kingsley, who is the starting left tackle for this team, could be. I want to see what Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who, while he's a backup, this is year 2. It's a huge year for your former first-round pick. What can he do? Can he increase his ability to be able to have a factor this year. He had a factor in the Super Bowl, but during the season really didn't. So I want to see Felix tonight because I think he's going to play a ton and see what impact he can have.
Yeah, I think it's all going to be with the rookies. But the two you mentioned, Kingsley and with Felix, what are they going to do? That's important because all these jobs are basically taken.
Mm-hmm.
I think there will be, if you just want some interest, LRZ going from rugby to football, what will he do in this game? I think, Deneric Prince, did he get better this year? Because everything we've heard is with his hands that he can be a better back. And Jared Wiley catching it from the tight end. Jaden Hicks coming up and making plays. So you see what kind of safety you got in Jaden Hicks and why Dane Brugler put him as his best safety in the draft, 39th best player overall. There's interest there. But as far as starters for this team, I would say Felix would be a strong role player. He's not going to start, but he would be a guy in the rotation. Like if he shows something, he'd be a guy. This team did have 57 sacks last year, 55 the year before. The team record is 60, which they're on the cusp of doing that. What's his pass rush moves looks like? Is Sac City coming back with the Chiefs because Spagnuolo's found various ways here to do things. Shamari Connor and that nickel role and going to safety and the versatility that he provides. But definitely it's Kingsley because that's your left tackle, and that's also the guy you're making sure you're not breaking off a phone call on the plane saying, hey, Donovan, what are you doing?
Do we know?
Because to me, this is are we going to call Donovan Smith game?
If an injury happens, I think so. Otherwise, I don't know if they would do it after one bad game. But
they trust Kingsley, and I always thought this way was going to be going into camp.
I haven't checked, but do we know how much Trevor Lawrence is playing?
I haven't seen. That's a good question. Let me do a quick little search.
I wonder.
Is who playing?
Trevor Lawrence.
Or how much
Trevor Lawrence is one of the quarterbacks playing.
I wonder how much.
No, he is. Lawrence is playing.
Because the cornerback 2 thing, I think is, it's a battle that is worth monitoring, I think, regarding a starter.
Yeah, all this says from Jacksonville, some of their media members, they just list some other players who will not play for Jacksonville, but he's not. They're not going to have Eric Armstead, their defensive lineman, play due to some injuries. But I don't see anything that suggests that Trevor Lawrence won't also play.
He's supposed to play.
Minimal snaps, just like Patrick Mahomes.
So even if it's a drive or if it's 2 drives, you get a look at how Joshua Williams looks, how Jalen Watson looks, how Najee Johnson. I think that's a...
Yeah, quarterback 2 is an interesting spot, Drew. They don't have an answer yet. Spags has alluded to they're waiting for someone to kind of stand out at the number 2 quarterback spot. So I think that is another area. Multiple players still have an open competition for the L'Jarius Sneed replacement.
I can see that as a good thing, but also as a bad thing. Like, hey, they're all really even, so they're all doing a really great job. Or, well, we're trying to pick the best of 3, and we're not really able to do it. Like the language can be a good thing. Hey, we can't really, we're waiting for a guy to really stand out, or it could be a bad thing of we're waiting for somebody to really help us make the decision, I guess.
Those are all players that can definitely help their case for having more playing time. Everybody we just mentioned, whether it's the corners, whether it's Kingsley, whether it's Felix. In terms of just pure excitement, of course, I know what everybody wants to see. Tomorrow, they want to be able to see Patrick Mahomes on the first drive, maybe the only drive of the game, one deep shot to Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown. That's what people want. I don't know if we're going to get that or they're just going to keep it pretty simple. But based on training camp practice, they want to take shots down the field. We know long-term in the season they want to do that, but do we see that in the preseason? I hope tomorrow on the first drive they let one air out, whether it's to Worthy or Brown, I really don't care. Same thing applies. A deep threat to make people feel even better about the opportunities that they haven't had down the field.
I know this is extremely geeky, but I am curious about some of the backup running backs, especially Carson Steele. Will they keep a fullback or not? Mm-hmm. And seeing these other tight ends like Irv Smith and Jared Wiley. We don't know what Gray's all about. We'll see what Jared Wiley, because I have high expectations for Jared Wiley. And Irv Smith's had a very nice camp, which has forced the hand of, are they going to keep 4 tight ends or not? Do they consider Irv a better pass catcher than a receiver at a tight end than a receiver if you kept it at the bottom of the roster? And it will be fun to see who gets the run on Monday, Nico Remigio or Justin Ross.
I guess it could be Wiley. He could get a lot of playing time. I could see.
I think he gets a bunch.
If he plays a lot and he ends up having a big preseason game, you're going to see his expectation rookie year stuff get way out of whack.
I think another guy that we didn't mention in the first time we talked about this earlier was Jaden Hicks having that sort of, because I think likewise. I don't know if he's going to start because Justin Reed obviously isn't playing, but I wonder how much go time he's going to have, because he might have a game where, he comes up with a pick or has 8 tackles and 2 tackles for, he might have one of those games where, this dude is big time, but we know that he's not going to play much this year anyways, but I think that's a guy you can get really excited about over
I think
as
he
the season
does
progresses.
play, though. I really do. I think he's in a rotation because Chiefs love having the extra safety out there. They like to rotate him in. I think Jaden Hicks is going to get some time.
He has already impressed.
He's turned some heads. People say, I can't believe this kid's a rookie and what he's doing. Jaden Hicks will make some big plays in this game, but I don't – he's not going to – Kingsley's going to lead, I think, the rookies in snaps, then Xavier Worthy. But I think Jaden Hicks has a chance to seriously be in the rotation quite a bit and be a – again, 2 years ago, I thought they drafted for necessity. Last year, more of a draft for luxury. This year, definite role players I see in this draft with a couple starters, but definite role players I think was kind of the modus operandi of this draft.
I would look at you. I would like to see the screen game on the first drive too. If we're just talking about specifics, we've heard a lot about Isaiah Pacheco being better in the passing game, slimming down, and working with a wide receiver coach in the offseason. And there's no McKinnon anymore. It wouldn't if you're just talking about like putting people's mind at ease, like for everything that they're hoping happens. It's preseason, so keep that in mind. Nobody needs to panic if it doesn't, but it would like the two things that would just be fun to see and get me really excited for the season even more would be the deep passes I said to Worthy or Brown and a dump off or screen pass, something to Pacheco to show off the receiving. Whether that means even having Pacheco lined up at wide receiver in the slot. They've talked about
he's gotten better.
They've talked about that. Like those would be two things: pass to Worthy or Brown deep, and a receiving opportunity for Isaiah Pacheco. Those are things we've heard all at camp. So let's see it in the game.
I want to see Mahomes throw behind his back like he did Pacheco. Why not? It's preseason. Just go ahead and do it.
I don't think we'll see that.
No, we're not. But it'd be fun.
I don't think we'll see that in the
remember that
7
Atlanta
snaps
game
that Mahomes is going to get in this game.
You remember that Atlanta game, the Mahomes, that preseason game when he hits that bomb and everybody's like, "Whoa, man! Look at this guy's arm."
What if the first play of the game they go play action and it's a 70-yard touchdown to Worthy? Then Mahomes play one play and he's done.
One play.
He's done. That's it.
Go put the hat on.
We're good. That'd be fun too. Sign me up.
Go put the hat on. Sit there, talk to the on the sideline. But yeah, I remember this play. It was 2018 was when Mahomes hit that big bomb. I can't remember how far it was. I think it's a good scoring summary. But this was the one that it was 69-yard pass to Tyreek Hill from Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, that was the one. Everybody saw it. Whoa, that was like good.
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, that would be exciting.
Yeah, that one moment in Atlanta was like, okay.
Hey, are you betting on the preseason football game?
I will not be betting on
sure?
the preseason.
You sure you're not going to?
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
Are you curious about it at all? Do you think the Chiefs are favorites?
Spreads?
I think betting on preseason.
I just found it. I didn't know what it was.
Betting on preseason. Well, I mean, it's just like anything else, but it's
the Chiefs are 1.5-point underdogs to the Jags.
Stay away from
40.5 is the over/under. The total 40.5. There's no player props if you were wondering.
I think Ian Book can lead him in the fourth quarter, though.
Oh yeah. Live bet the Chiefs when Ian Book gets in. That's what Bink's telling you to do. Live bet the Chiefs when Ian Book gets in. I said Oladuke and a lot of.
Don't do that when he gets in.
Don't bet when he's in?
No.
Yikes. Someone says if Mahomes hit that 70-yard bomb, Bink won't need any more Blue Chew.
No, I won't. It lasted 4 hours, fellas. Boy. What do I do?
So they're not putting a lot on tape. I understand. It doesn't mean they won't have one deep pass. Like
people know they're going to do it. It's not like a secret.
Having one deep,
hey, dude, just run
deep
a post
route. Yeah, like one deep post route is not. Oh my gosh, they put that on tape. They're screwed. Now it might be fair to say they won't put Pacheco in the slot in the preseason because they don't. Maybe that's fair, but like. Otherwise, we're
running the exact
we
same.
overblow the secret stuff. Like it's the same thing with the Gruden thing.
Yeah.
People were texting in. I had a conversation with a family member even yesterday, and they're like, John Gruden at practice. Like, what if he goes somewhere else and now he knows? Like, most of these teams are all doing the same thing. Most of them. Most of them are doing the same thing, and there's different wrinkles. But it's so like we overblow sometimes the secret stuff.
Here's keep in mind, meaningless baseball game, MLB, and they're going out to the mound, they're talking through their mitt. Like, really, does anybody care what the hell Oakland's saying? I mean, honestly, let's be real honest here. You know what I mean? When you put the mitt up, but 100% certainty there is other team scouts up at Chiefs training camp wearing Mahomes jerseys or whatever. Guarantee it's happening. They're sitting there watching everything, seeing what they're doing, seeing the talent. Guarantee you other scouts are sitting there.
Are they actually allowed to do that?
No.
But how are you gonna?
I was gonna say that sounds like a stallion.
But you don't know. Well, I'm just saying. I don't know if you could. You used to be able to, but
look, some of the stuff gets overblown. I mean, just peel back the curtain. We've told you guys this before. Like when we're up there as media, there's only certain periods we're allowed to take video of. Yet, if you're a fan or a media outlet that can't get credential and breaks the rules, you can film video that goes viral as well. That's how camp goes.
You're saying Sean McDermott's sending out Scout 44 to go check out Chiefs training camp? Bink?
What's that?
I said you're saying Sean McDermott's sending out one of their scouts to watch training camp.
It might be. Here's what it said. Rules about opposing scouts at paid practices was taken off the books.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. I thought you were about to give us like Rule A.3.
No, I'm just saying.
C.
It turns out the Panthers aren't inviting espionage by charging admission to a practice that used to be for free, thanks to the rule change. The policy now prohibits clubs from attending another club's practice session, regardless of whether or not there's an admission fee, unless permission has previously been received. Club personnel or representatives are prohibited. So there you go. There's a rule.
There we go. Up next.
I'm sorry, I went down the rabbit hole.
We'll talk some Royals baseball, Bink. Big series ahead, big day ahead. It could be another day just like Wednesday for the Royals. We'll explain why next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
As summer takes its toll on our beautiful lawns, it's not too early. In fact, it's critical to be thinking ahead to next year. The most important first step you can take for an even better lawn next year is professional fall seeding from Ryan Lawn and Tree. Hi, I'm Larry Ryan. Fall is the best time to seed, and no one can do a better job than the turf pros at Ryan Lawn and Tree. Our proprietary seeding process is unmatched. After properly preparing the lawn and soil, our pros will generously spread Ryan's signature mix of premium grass seed. They'll then apply our special starter fertilizer and give you complete and easy care instructions. Now is the time to reserve your spot as our calendar is filling up fast. Save 10% if you book before August 31st. Visit ryanlawn.com/seed now. A lush green carpet next spring begins with professional fall seeding from Ryan Lawn and Tree. Visit ryanlawn.com/seed.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to victorychrysler-dodge-jeepram.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Make history this summer by attending Kansas City Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri. There's still time to join me for year 12 of Chiefs training camp in St. Joe. For more details, go to stjomo.com. stjomo.com. In St. Joe, you'll discover 150 years of history, where the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. Experience history, make history. Go to stjomo.com. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the DQ $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Not just a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae, all full-sized, all for $7. Because everything's better with bacon. Everything's also better with a side of fries, a refreshing drink, and a sundae to finish. Yum. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. DQ, happy tastes good.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine.
Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Get funky with it.
Just going to turn on the video camera only on Drew and let Drew dance to this. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted, a little pre-Club 610.
There's one person who, I don't know if they'd be able to do this. We found out over break. Well, Bink let us know, I guess. Is there a certain player that can't do the cha-cha slide because they can't put the hands on the knees anymore?
What player can't do the cha-cha slide? You want to know who can do it or can't do it?
Cannot.
Which player?
I'm asking you this.
I don't know, Drew.
I think he's alluding to Bank.
What you told us over the break.
I think he's alluding that Juju
I know what
Smith-Schuster
you're talking about.
got cut
I know what he's talking
by
about.
the Patriots. So naturally, Juju Smith-Schuster, who we all know was in Kansas City a couple years ago, back in 2022, had 933 yards. At the time, people wanted him back in Kansas City. The Chiefs let him walk, although they were interested. Reports were, right? He ends up signing with the Patriots on a 2-year deal, mainly guaranteed in year one. In year one, he was awful last year, only played in 11 games, 260 yards. Last night, first preseason game, then they cut him today. He's a free agent, will be a free agent. There's no knees left. Like the knees, there's nothing left there. That's the problem. Otherwise, I was all about this 2 years ago. Would have brought him back. It's kind of sad because he's only 27 years old, and he obviously did great things for the Chiefs in that 1 year. He's a big part of the team. Sure. Reliable possession receiver. But at this point, I think that's why the Patriots are moving on from him as well.
Who don't have great receivers, even though they drafted
The
Jalen
reports have been that his legs, his knees, unfortunately, have failed him. Like, he just doesn't have much. Like, there's like nothing, no cartilage. There's like nothing left in the knee. I think it's, is it right knee or left knee? I can't remember which one. 50-50 shot at guessing that correctly. And no, I see Twitter already speculating, like, oh, bring him back as the fifth wide receiver. Yeah, I get the I get the thought, but I don't think there's anything left there really for Juju Smith-Schuster.
I don't either.
I don't think he's coming back to be the sixth receiver for this team.
Mike Girardi says on Twitter, wrote this about Juju a few days ago. His legs aren't consistently there. It's led to a normally sure-handed dude dropping passes that 2 years ago he wouldn't
He's
have.
not the same.
And here's the thing. You got to remember, too, it matters who you're cut from. Like the Patriots, this is where they've been trying to get receivers there. They tried Calvin Ridley last year, and they brought up his price, and that's why Tennessee spent more money this year. They wanted Calvin Ridley, and now they wanted to trade for Brandon Ayuk and actually give more money to Brandon. Anybody else? This is how starved they are for wide receivers. I know Jalen Polk that they drafted this year, but if you're cut by that team, you got issues.
Yeah, I just don't. Look, will somebody sign Juju? Maybe. They want to get a look at him themselves. I think the Chiefs knew the knee situation when they didn't bring him back a year ago. Now, let's not act like they weren't interested then, as there were reports that the Chiefs had given him a pretty decent offer. So they didn't think it was so bad that he couldn't play. But now fast forward another year after a down season, he's a year older, more wear and tear on the knee. I would be very surprised, not to mention we're talking about if he came back, he'd have to be accepting of like being the sixth wide receiver and a fifth receiver, because Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice are 1, 2, 3. To me, Justin Watson would be almost higher than him on the depth chart. Like, it would just be tough. Now, if you are just arguing about would you rather have him or Kadarius Toney, again, we're talking about the fifth, sixth, or seventh wide receiver at that point.
Then you're talking who gives you more production, Sky Moore, Nico Remigio, or Justin Ross at this point. I would have to think that they would be better than a 70% Juju Smith-Schuster. 100% of those guys I still think is better. Now, 100% Juju Smith-Schuster? No. Juju's better, but, a 70% one? No, not at all.
I got to get going. About to start.
Guys, remember that? That's anytime we talk Juju Smith-Schuster, you got to bring back the Gillette commercials. Bank, do you remember those?
My body is my career, and shaving my pubes is no different.
Juju Smith-Schuster, free agent.
Juju,
he's a free agent. What a fall from, honestly, what a fall from grace, if you will, on his career. I mean, rookie year, 917 yards.
Got his ring and bolted.
1,400 yards in 2018. 2019, 552 at 831 the COVID year. Then the year before he came to Kansas City, he only had a buck 129. He just had 129 yards receiving, and people weren't sure when the Chiefs signed him what he would be. He was great in Kansas City. 101 targets, 933, 3 touchdowns, and then last year, terrible season. With terrible quarterback play, in fairness. But
that's one thing about NFL. That's why when you think about these contracts, people getting that, that big first contract or whatever, how quickly your career can be over. Even at 27, 28 years old, how the lifespan of the NFL. That's why you see these guys really win that contract.
For the Patriots, to your point about being wide receiver starved, for them to cut him when his cap hit this year was 10.2. The potential out was not until next year. I believe, let me scroll over on Spot Track. I think, they're eating $12 million. How bad is that? You're on a young team with a young quarterback. Your wide receiver room's not great. And their Patriots are just willing to eat the $12 million.
That's why they tried for Ridley. It's why they tried for Brandon Ayuk. Tried for.
I'm just saying that tells you how bad the knees are. If they're not even retaining him, and they're going to let him walk for $12 million. That's pretty crazy.
Eat that money.
Someone says Juju Smith-Schuster gave my daughter a bag of bagels at the parade.
Nice guy.
Yeah, nobody's saying it. Yeah, great guy, fun personality, all of it. But unfortunately, I don't think it's all that realistic.
I'll take 70% Juju over Toney all day, says the text line. Well, here's the thing. That's assuming.
But Juju himself might be 30% of what he was.
But that's assuming Toney makes the team. And I don't think he will. So that's a moot point. I don't feel like he's going to make the team.
Toney has to start practicing next week and play in the next preseason game for me to think he can make the
next
team.
4 days, he's not playing.
I still wonder, are we going to hear, though, close to the season, somebody goes on IL, or IR in the NFL's case, I guess, someone goes on IR, and whether it's him or somebody else, Bink, and that's how they solve the wide receiver number problem. We don't want to get rid of him. We still can't quit him fully. He's hurt. Put him on IR.
Isn't that a problem, though? Like, if you're the only reason you're hanging around is because somebody else got hurt.
It happens all the time. Or they have these injuries.
I know, but again, not everybody is.
I could see him sliding on injury reserve.
But,
that's what I'm saying.
But not everybody is Kadarius Toney, where you're making videos on your playing situation, and all of the. And not everybody's in the same boat as him. Where yes, there's people that make rosters because others are hurt, but you have to deal with Kadarius Toney, I think, more than you want to have Kadarius Toney, it seems like.
Right. Look, the video thing, we all discussed it when it happened and thought it would lead to him being cut in February.
Obviously
but here we are, and it's August, so like I don't even want to bring up the video thing anymore because clearly that wasn't as bad to the Chiefs as we all thought it was or should have been. Like that if he ends up getting cut, it's not going to be because of the video in December or January, whatever that was. That would have caused him to be cut in February. They clearly weren't fazed by that. They just weren't. All the other stuff could lead to him being cut, as in not being available, just not being effective. That'll be why he gets cut. And he also is owed $2.5 million whether they cut him or keep him on the team. And that's where I think the IR thing could be interesting.
Yeah, it gets spotted on there. But again, are you that worried about his training through the season? Is he be ready next year? I don't know. It was ankle and it was back now.
I think it's still ankle, isn't it? Is there another injury?
No, I thought it was another injury.
You're probably right. Probably right. Maybe it's both.
That's what I'm saying. It's always something.
That's another reason why he shouldn't make is that if somebody gets hurt, you're not going to replace an injured guy with a guy that can't stay healthy either.
It's like you can't depend. You have to be able to depend on people in the NFL.
And right now, unofficial depth chart. Right, I'll read into it too much, but he's way down there. He's way down the list.
Well, that was why again. I know that it's not the case, so it's not worth spending too much time on. But that's why in April I wanted them to draft 2 wide receivers because you didn't have the question that we're asking now didn't have to be a question that we asked. It would be, look, we don't need Kadarius Toney anymore. We don't need Sky Moore anymore. And it was simple and it was easy and it was done because you took care of it in the draft. And even if you kept a guy that was a 6th-round wide receiver over Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore, maybe they have a better shot of turning into something because evidently Sky Moore hasn't in the time that he's been here.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Obviously,
it's weird though. My frustration level, whether he's on the team or not, though, is so low now because they have at least with other additions made it to where if he's on the team, Bink,
it's not like
he's the 6th wide receiver, 7th wide receiver. So will they? How? I mean, there could be game days where he's not even active again. I mean, if you're the 7th wide receiver, you know what I mean. You're not active on game day.
I mean, if he was able to show things, it was great at the beginning of the camp. He's out there and he's out there every day, and it's like, okay. What's going on with Kadarius Toney now? You can see the talent. That's the problem. You can see the talent. When the dude was at Florida, yes, he was often injured there too, but he had some incredible plays with the ball in his hands. It's amazing. When he catches the football, he could become a running back at that point. I mean, he was tough to bring down.
There comes a point, though, where...
But he would show it, he'd flash it, but you got to stay consistent and be on the field.
Yeah, there comes a point, though, where as good, as talented as you may be, we just have to stop talking about that.
Oh, no question.
Just because, like... Yeah, dude, you're really talented. So is everybody else in the league. But
but that's why he's still even on the team today. So they still can't quit it. Like we'll find out. Maybe they will in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's why they traded for him. That's why the video wasn't as big of a deal to them as it would because they still know athletically he's there. But at some point, I agree with you. At some point, and maybe that's in a few weeks, you do have to move on. It's just they haven't done it to this point. And I guess being at camp doesn't do them any harm. You need bodies at camp anyway. So.
And maybe he stands up and flashes at that point. And they're saying, okay, we like what we're seeing. And Kadarius Toney promised us, he's coming back and be good. But they love that potential. And you've seen it. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of breakaways with the Chiefs. He really doesn't. But there was times he'd make, guys miss and, juke them out of their jockstrap. And you go like, whoa, this guy's got some serious talent. Because that's what you say when you watch the game. It's like, man, this guy's going to be good. And then he just doesn't play.
Coming up in 15 minutes, Club 610 here on a Friday. We're going to have Rob Collins, sports director over at Fox 4, drop by. We had a listener that add to our beer allotment today. So we've got some more beer. I also got a text from somebody else that may be stopping by. Let me see what the latest text. About 25 minutes. Okay, yep. I'm not going to tell the people yet, but that person said they're also bringing a 6-pack. So we've got plenty of beer, and we'll have another special guest stopping by in the 1 o'clock hour today. Before we get to the random question of the day, we had the news there with Juju, which kind of sidetracked us a little bit with him being cut by the Patriots. But the Royals, I-70 series tonight, Kauffman Stadium, and this is the second day this week where it sets up before they even play their game, they could already be sitting in a spot to take a huge advantage over what's going on in their own division. So there's a doubleheader today between the Guardians and Twins. They're playing a series. They can beat up on each other, or knowing that you play the Twins next week anyway, you want the Twins to beat up on the Guardians, to be exact in this scenario. Where the Royals are at in the AL Central, we know they're competing with Boston in the wild card right now, and the Twins for that matter. But this sets up, it could be another great 2-day stretch for the Royals. It's not unrealistic to say, we could be sitting here Monday and the Royals could be like 2 back in the division, which at that point, I'll have to eat some crow and say that they're in. I said they got to be, by the time the end of the month hits for the Guardians series, they got to be within 3 or 4 for me to believe that they can win the division. Well, they might be 2 back next week. Still need to be within striking distance at the end of the month, but I'll have to start believing about the division again.
I remember sitting with you about a month or so ago. We looked at this and thought, okay, can they win the division or not? That was kind of just wild card is that we need to concentrate on. But Cleveland just hadn't hit those skids yet. You're waiting for that, that 5-game losing streak like they're on now. And you're like, okay, are they going to be able to go through this? Because they just keep losing when the Royals lose, or they win when the Royals win. And unfortunately, the Royals, had they done more damage against the Red Sox, they'd be even closer than this. But Monday, August 26th, the Royals play Cleveland in a doubleheader. And it's in Cleveland. That's going to be a huge one there. But as far as this Twins game series, because you always wonder when you look at the games, who should I root for? I'd say Minnesota, because I think you have better chances.
Well, you play them next week, too.
Yeah.
So if they bring you need them to bring Cleveland closer to the pack. I don't think Minnesota's as good as the Guardians. I don't think most people do. So let Minnesota, if possible, that dream scenario is they win both today in the doubleheader. The Guardians would have lost 7 in a row at that point. Royals, Michael Lorenzen on the mound. It looked good against Detroit. Let's see if they carry some momentum, if you believe in that, from 2 days ago, and how they wrapped up the series against Boston. We know Bobby Witt Jr. is playing I don't want to say out of his mind, because this is just who he is at this point, but he's playing at a ridiculous level. Vinny Pasquantino is playing at a really high level, and they're getting key at-bats now, just good at-bats from MJ Melendez. He's come up clutch, but he's getting a couple walks the other day. Michael Massey, I know he had the mistake in the field, but his next at-bat was really solid, gets on base, right? So that's key in this series against the Cardinals, and then they have the off day Sunday. But they're in a good spot heading into the weekend potentially to really be sitting in a great position come Monday.
Minnesota could take over first place, to be honest with you, if they would sweep them.
Great.
And then the Royals would be tied with Cleveland for second. I mean, that's the ultimate scenario right there.
All right, let's get to it. Random question.
Random question.
Seems like when I do these,
when you fill in, it's on you. You know that.
I know, but you guys, it's met with skepticism, because I remember someone saying, where's the question?
The text line.
Where's the question?
Well, as long as you have a question, you're good. 913-586-7610.
What is something you hear on a TV show, and or a commercial, could be anything, and it drives you absolutely nuts when you hear it? You pound your head, I got to turn this off. I can't hear this. It's some word or phrase or something that you hear.
Like what? What prompted this? What were you watching?
So I'm just, flipping through the channels. It's late at night, just flipping through. And those house hunter type shows, like lakefront bargain hunting and stuff like this.
You're out here watching House Hunters and love it or list it?
No, I don't watch
American
that stuff.
Pickers,
I like the
American Pickers is a completely different
show. The
show.
lake houses are cool, I think, because they're showing these houses on the lake and stuff like in different parts of the country. I think that's pretty cool. But they always say, and it's like, are you buying it for yourself, or are you worried about parties? Because I always hear the word entertain. Oh, I can see us entertaining here. Ooh, we could entertain. I was listening last night. They said it like no less than 9 times.
So the word entertain.
It's like, what are you more worried about? You moving in a place and you enjoying, because you're going to be all the time. Or are you worried about entertaining? But I hate the word entertain. I think it's way overused. And every time I hear it, I cringe. It'd be a great drinking game on those shows. Ooh, we can entertain. Who gives a rat's ass, man? It's your place.
This really bugs you.
Why
don't you just stop? Then why don't you flip off of HGTV and watch the Olympics or something?
And if they have those Jardiance commercials on it, it's even worse.
I mean, if we're going to talk about TV, we go back to the commercial stuff, because this is the one that I think most people agree with.
Type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell.
That's me stepping on
I take once daily Jardiance. At each day starts.
Yeah, that one. That's my answer to your
I'm going to be
question.
playing pickleball tonight, and I'm going to hit this.
My question to you guys is there something that bothers you when you hear it?
That's
You think
what
it's
I just played.
Just
Yeah,
that
what I just
Drew?
played.
Example.
This is Binks, get off my lawn. Something. Anything else you want? That's what this is.
Someone said the Matt Stafford thing was get off your lawn. Wait, I was just being practical. Other than get off my lawn, I'd go with the other quarterbacks. Is what I was saying. That's not get off my lawn. Let's get on my lawn.
But this seems a little more like that.
It's annoying. It's just stupid. It's silly. It's ridiculous. But it's just one of those words I just cringe every time I hear it.
Drew, what's your answer?
You said Stephen A. something.
Those commercials are good. I think one thing is Stephen A. always likes to give you the one big word. Like he wants you to know that he knows. Like he's using unequivocally or the audacity of he always uses those big words where it's like, Steven, you don't have to do that. It's fine. We know that you're a smart dude.
Worked in a text line picked up on you last segment, working in big words or whatever as well.
Working in big words, yeah. Yeah, I did it with alacrity,
LeBron James is unequivocally number 2 on my list. Michael Jordan is number 1.
Is that your Stephen A?
It's not very good.
That was your Stephen A?
New York.
Can you do an Irish
I
Stephen
think
A?
the Scottish accent was better.
That was awesome.
I think your golf update accent was way better.
The New York Knicks are a disaster.
Gosh.
I almost sound like George Costanza.
Go back. Give us the Scottish accent.
Can you do French for the Olympics?
I can't give you French. I'm sorry.
Give us French.
Oui.
I'm not able to give you
Qu'est-ce
French.
qu'il y a à manger?
Oh, I mean.
What is there to eat, mother?
Was that what you just said?
They hate when they watch TV and they hear Skip Bayless. Well, good news for you, I guess. Right now, he's not going to be on TV
I
for a
can
while.
cuss in 4 languages, but I'm not going to right now.
Thank you.
Still, I know. I'm just saying. I don't. Even when like Nick was going over there, your old producer Nick, I was teaching him German cuss words when he went over there. I was like, hey man, this is what you got to know. And so I was teaching him that. Kling, I remember when he went over there with the Chiefs to Germany, I was teaching him German cuss words, but I can cuss in 4 languages.
That's quite the skill, Bank.
It doesn't. Yeah, yeah, I'm
tired of the New York Knicks. I can't win a championship.
Yeah, if this makes me a loser, I am.
It just doesn't work with the basketball compared to the golf.
I'm tired of the New York Knicks.
Yeah, it doesn't work. This one text is correct. Someone just said all political commercials. That's true. Those got out of hand here. Those got out of hand for a while. That's very true. That is very true.
Someone said the Burger King commercial.
Which one is that?
The one that we have in the system? Or did have?
Oh.
Whopper.
Oh, that provided us plenty of entertainment. Anytime there was awkward silence, which shouldn't happen anyway, but anytime there was, we decided we played that. That became something we did. That was like a year or so ago. That was January.
Whopper, Junior.
Yeah.
The Discover card commercials drive me nuts too. With the lady that calls Discover, just
but aren't they working? Right, we all remember these.
Yeah,
right,
I guess
what it's
work.
all about. They work. You're supposed to remember jingles and all that. It works.
Maybe you want to call Discover
Someone
card at
says
night.
Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. Just their voice
Jeez.
is what somebody said. I think Monday Night Football is so much better now that it's Buck and Aikman.
Better.
It's not even close. It was really bad for a while. So much
All the
better.
experimentations with different people.
Yeah, it's a lot better product. I understand Joe Buck goes back to the playoffs here for people overreacted a little bit to that, but go back to 2015.
I don't care about
2014,
announcers as much as people do. People get irate over announcers because they hate your team. Every great announcer hates your team.
What's the the Mike's got this. I don't necessarily hate it, but as I'm
Mike's got it, man. He's got it.
Dude, I've used him before. Mike does have it, man.
Talk about a jingle. I'm driving back from vacation. And you just see the signs. Mike's got this, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even need to know anything else."
No, he's got it.
This.
You know what? I used him.
It.
I used Mike, and he had my settlement done like within days. I was shocked
because he's got it, Bink.
I was shocked at how. I'm not kidding you. I was shocked at how damn good he was.
He's got it.
Awesome.
There's your
Someone
endorsement.
said Collinsworth.
I'm not endorsing
I don't
anything.
mind
I'm
Chris.
just saying
I
that
don't mind Chris Collinsworth at all.
You know, Bink. Here's a guy, Patrick Mahomes. Just look at how he throws the ball,
It's a Cincinnati
man.
guy, too, Collinsworth. He lives there.
Bengals guy.
That's true. That is very true.
Loves that skyline.
Up next, Club 610. It could be the final Club 610 before...
See, Drew, that's a terrible take.
It could be the final Club 610 before we pick a new name for what we do on Fridays in the 1 o'clock hour. So you want to enjoy it today. We might do one more before we switch it to a name we need your help coming up with. Maybe it's Club 965. Maybe it's the Fan Club. We're not sure. Rob Collins from Fox 4, plus another guest stops by next.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Don't forget to follow Cody and Gold on the Odyssey app so you can listen on demand to my terrific football takes throughout the year right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
98.9 The Rock is proud to partner with the Drive to Zero Coalition, who invite you to join the Kansas Fans with a Plan. It's simple. If you're going to be drinking at the Smashing Pumpkins concert, hop on Safe Ride, use your favorite rideshare app, or plan ahead for your designated driver. It's up to everyone. Don't drink and drive. Together, fans with a plan can prevent serious crash injuries and fatalities. This message is brought to you by the Kansas Department of Transportation and all the victims of impaired driving crashes.
Your new happy place is coming to Overland Park August 10th. The PGA Tour Superstore is opening at 6621 West 109th Street. Step into golf paradise with the largest selection of gear, indoor practice space, and our state-of-the-art performance studio. We're giving away over $30,000 in free clubs, apparel, and more. August 10th, visit the PGA Tour Superstore in Overland Park and find your new happy place. Learn more at pgatoursuperstore.com/Overland Park.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
We've had more than our fair share of hail and wind this year. Are you playing Roofer Roulette? That's when you bet your roof and your home on the first random roofer to ring your doorbell. Why do that when JR and Company offers a free hail and wind report online at jrstormcheck.com? Just plug in your address and we'll pull a multi-year storm report. You'll know exactly what your roof has been put through and if you even need an inspection. If you do, no one is more thorough and works better with your insurance than locally owned, veteran-owned JR and Company. And if you need a new roof, remember, a roof from JR comes with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Don't play Roofer Roulette with your home. Visit jrstormcheck.com and remember,
you're always better with a roof from JR.
Visit jrstormcheck.com.
Intimacy. Those special moments when we're together and deeply connected to the one we love. Truly, there are few times in life as wonderful as these. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and it's the restoration of intimacy that makes me most proud of the work we do in treating erectile dysfunction for our patients. ED is an intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The condition causes stress, anxiety, and depression. Even worse, a man's partner can even blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. For us at Heartland Men's Health, this is unacceptable because ED is simply a medical condition like any other, and we have many treatment options and treatment combinations that can stop ED in its tracks. In fact, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. So call us and get back those intimate moments. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
Now, your Live Nation lineup. Don't miss these upcoming shows. OAR, Thursday, September 5th at Starlight Theater. Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Friday, September 27th at Starlight Theater. Two Door Cinema Club, Saturday, September 28th at Starlight Theater. Creed, Wednesday, November 6th at T-Mobile Center. And Dane Cook, Thursday, December 12th at the Music Hall. For tickets and info, hit up livenation.com.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with the 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat or visit a dealer near you.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, Dusty Likens. And in case you missed it, we're moving to 96.5 The Fan starting August 15th. The all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, here we go. Friday, 1 o'clock hour, Club 610. Could be the last Club 610 before we rebrand a little bit because, we're switching to 96.5 The Fan next Thursday. So we agree we can't keep the Club 610 name, Pink, and we need suggestions. We've thrown out Fan Club is just right there for us. Club 965. We've got Rob Collins from Fox 4 joining us in studio.
Why don't you call it the Roxbury? Because remember the night at the Roxbury? Just call Club 610 the Roxbury.
Dancing? The Roxbury Boys dance?
Just call it
I don't think so.
Whatever
just call it the Roxbury.
So I don't know if you have any suggestions, but you were one of the first people, I think, one of the first groups of people that came in for Club 610. Yeah. So other than that, it's still going to be the same deal, but we figure we got to change the name. We got to get a new sign. Cody wants to just call it The Buzz. But I mean, that one, yeah, I don't know if everybody will like that or not.
Somebody said Club Fantastic yesterday.
Based off your Twin Peaks, yeah.
Do you need a cover chart?
Well, since Rob is his last time.
I know, it sounds like a strip club
how about
or something.
Club Collins? I mean, it's his last time in here.
No, it's all good, man.
I would keep 610 because I like nostalgia. Not only that, but you already have the damn sign. Just keep it.
Honestly, I mean,
you get the neon sign already.
The Fan Club. Is it too obvious? Because it's right there, though. It's a little cheesy. It's right there.
Club Fanboy.
Someone did say, who was it? Someone texted in yesterday, Drew, and said, "Club only fan."
Yeah, somebody did say that.
There you go.
Somebody did say that.
Only fan club.
I just go with 6. I keep Club 610. It's still going to be 6. It's going to be on 610. It'll be simulcast.
We'll be simulcast on 610.
So
but
you'll be technically still
but
610.
We're moving into a new era. 96.5 The Fan. I think it's time to we got to switch it up. So I think we're going to. We're working on names. Text line. Someone says. Someone says Club Buzzed. That fixes the just going with the direct buzz.
Club
someone else.
Fandango.
Someone says Club.
How about the Club Sandwich?
Someone says Club Frequency because you're going to be on FM radio.
Okay. Someone say Club Close Enough
Vodka
till
Club.
the weekend.
We'll come up. We'll come up with something.
The Golden Tap Happy Hour. That's what somebody else put.
Golden Tap Happy Hour.
Makes sense.
That could work.
Bro, you got more airtime than I did yesterday.
I was on Fox 4 yesterday.
You were on all the stations. Every time I looked up, it was either you or Cody.
Cody and I were on Fox 4. They came out.
If you got more time than weather, I mean, was it more than weather even?
Pretty close.
Joe Laurie have less time than
not a whole lot going on weather-wise. It's 70 degrees, man.
Yeah. No, it was nice of you guys to come out and talk about the big switch. For those just tuning in that maybe didn't hear yesterday, we've been kind of alluding to here in this Club 610. I know it was everywhere.
I heard it more than I heard that stupid Jardians commercial you just played.
He was on the news too for the Hallmark movie, so he's been on it a lot lately.
I'm surprised he lets us be in the same room with him, Binkley. We had to go through his agent now, sign a waiver.
Yeah, there wasn't NDAs to get into the Club 610 these days.
And I was here the day he found out too. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hallmark movie, and a lot of NDAs have been signed in the last 2 weeks for different reasons and everything. But no, we're excited moving forward. We're excited to have you in studio. What are we drinking today? Bink, you already opened up. So we had a listener earlier, kind enough. Our Aussie friend dropped off. a couple Oktoberfest. That's what you're going with. I went and grabbed
it's the Free State Oktoberfest.
Free State. Nice. That's good stuff.
That's
really good stuff.
Because it's Lawrence, right?
Right. And then I went and we got some from Boulevard. We've got their Southwest Boulevard Lager, a little salt and lime. That's what Rob's got over there as well.
I'm going to have to milk this because I got to go straight to work.
I figured you're working.
I'm not liming the beer. I am just going straight Oktoberfest because you know what? This is when Oktoberfest comes out, July and in August.
October weather, man.
It feels
that's a good point.
I can't wait for October. Football and beer and fall beer and chili and... Whatever. I just like beer.
Well, that's
It's
refreshing.
football.
It is a good one. No, I haven't had it in a while. I was wanting something a little different, and frankly, I wasn't going to make cocktails because that's Cody's thing, you know.
Sure.
So I was like, the canned stuff is easy, and then it was either that or some canned cocktails. And Drew, I think you'll like this one still. I know I almost got the strawberry margarita and stuff or the ciders, but I was like, let's still roll with a light beer, and that's what we.
Drew had his first beer at that 4th of July show we did.
I heard that.
And he
went out there and
he shot
It's actually not bad.
candle.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I knew you would like this one as well.
You going to partake in the other can that Binkley has?
So, did you hear what happened with that?
Yeah.
So earlier today, Bink was freaking out. He didn't have his Copenhagen, and I needed to go get.
I refused to do the show.
I was worried that you weren't going to make it till 2, and so I said, "Hey, look, I left the beer that I bought for Club 610. I have still at home. I'm like, I need this for the show." So I ran down to the liquor store. I was going to anyway. I said, don't worry, I'll go. I'm already out. There's no reason. And I went up there, and it felt weird. I'll be honest. Like I said earlier, it felt like I was like buying condoms for the first time.
That Coke.
It was Copenhagen long cut wintergreen. Like, do you need 2? I'm like, no. Why do I need 2?
He's like, Alex Gold's in here
You could
getting
have
some
got
chew.
like $2 off. You would have bought 2 or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
I had a listener one time.
I had no idea how much it was going to cost either. So they're like,
What is it, like $6, $7?
$6.50
Oh,
is what
really?
it was, like
It's more
$6.50.
in Kansas. I had a listener see. I was buying a bunch of chew one day at Hy-Vee because I always talk about Hy-Vee fast and fresh. That's why I take dates too, you know, because they got everything.
Why wouldn't you?
Roller food. There's every kind of drink you
Why
want.
wouldn't you?
And you find out a lot about a person.
Yeah.
You know,
By what
if
they
they're
pick?
stuck up or if they're modest, if they can accept going to a gas station. But someone saw me buying a bunch of chew there.
Yeah.
You ever had Copenhagen?
No, I've never chewed before.
He's more of a skull guy.
Oh, okay. Skull guy.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah,
He's a Kodiak guy.
He's a red man. He's the
I'm loyal to Kodiak. Sorry.
I used to do that for Kauffman Stadium once in a while. I'd go get the the pouches, the real chew.
Well, the thing that people they're so popular now, and I don't chew and I don't do the pouches, but those the Zen pouches are very popular. I know people. I won't mention names. Some others in the building of the station like those, but
Hey, you know what?
yeah.
Sometimes when you're playing golf, those are perfect.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Just not something I've really.
The first time I had Copenhagen, I believe I was sophomore in high school. It was after football practice.
You want a pin drum?
What's that?
You want a pin?
Not right now. That'd make me dizzy probably.
Okay.
Especially after the story I'm going to tell you.
See on the news tonight. Hey, back to you.
Lit up like the 4th, like Drew, the fireworks. So sophomore year, high school football, 2-a-days, August in Texas. We just finished the second practice. Seniors are driving us home because we're all lived out in the country, right? We're in the back of the truck. There's 5 or 6 of us guys. 3 seniors in the front. They have the big, old school black can Copenhagen. Open the little slider window, in the truck and pass it back. Like, hey boys, get you a dip. Refresh you after practice. We're like, kind of peer. We're like, all right, we're seniors, dude. They're seniors. We have to, right? So we pass it around. Mind you, we just had football practice. It's August. We're in the back.
You're
it's
sweating.
hot as you know what. About 3 minutes later, it looked like the scene from The Sandlot. All of us were puking our guts out over the tire wheel, just puking over the side of the road, look in the front. These dudes are laughing their butts off. So ever since that day, if I smell it, automatic queasy, I can't do it.
I'm sorry, Rob, to do that to you. The shortcut that gets all of my teeth. That's why I prefer the long cut.
I was asking. So this again, I don't know. That's why when you're like, make sure it's long cut. I'm like, what's the difference? I don't know what's the difference.
That's why people use the pouches, so it stays contained.
Yeah, I used to do pouches, Rob, but I went to some man stuff. I went from the child's table to the grown-up's table,
You think Caleb Williams?
Here we go.
No way.
Here we go.
I'm sitting here doing radio, drinking a beer with a John.
Living the life, man.
Friday afternoon.
Get better than
It's America, man. They got American flag hat on.
Talking cheese.
Living life.
You think
man.
Matt Stafford is a dip guy, Bink?
Matt Stafford is a dip. And to think that he'd be ahead of Mahomes is ridiculous and silly that Caleb Williams would even insinuate.
For those that I don't want to get Bink going again, look what you've done, Rob. Look what you've done.
My bad.
But for those that don't know, we played a cut earlier there where Caleb Williams was talking about his favorite quarterbacks, not just his favorite, but who he thought were the best quarterbacks in the league.
Let me close my ears.
And, well, I'm stalling because I don't know where you saved it.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Top of the big show.
Okay. That's why I was stalling a little bit. If you want to play the cut so people can hear again. You were upset, to say the least.
When he would play for Detroit,
he must owe Stafford money.
I enjoyed watching them, but I wasn't so young, but I was younger, and I didn't really understand. And then I got older and older, and then I started to understand his game. He's unbelievable. Like there's a couple plays where he'll get a play action, and he has the backer on a string. Like he wants the backer to go here, he'll go there, throw it right behind his head at the perfect touch, perfect velocity, and so he's unbelievable. I don't know how. I think it was 46, right? On the top 100, 56.
I don't even
top
know.
100.
I didn't look.
It was something unbelievable that he shouldn't have been.
Happy.
I was not happy about.
Where would you put him?
Matthew Stafford is probably. I don't think I can name two or three quarterbacks that play the position better than Matthew Stafford.
God,
not obviously playing right now. I'm not saying
42. He was 42 on the list.
I don't know how he's 42.
You're telling me he's better than Josh Allen. He's better than that's
Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford. Aaron Rodgers right now in the game is my number one QB.
Yeah. If I'm in Buffalo,
obviously
I'm
last year he got hurt and things like that, so that's it kind of varies for the top 100. But
you don't play Aaron, you play Matthew though.
Yeah, Matthew's
week
top
4.
2 in the league.
You're playing in week 4.
I know. He's top 2 in the league. I give him his respect. I watch his game. Try and mimic things. And
you mimic Stafford. Okay.
That was on Kay Adams' show. Yeah, that's the thing. That was Kay Adams, by the way. Caleb Williams with Kay Adams, and you can't even let the cut play without talking. It's really bugging you.
No, it's annoying, and it's going to stick like that Jardiance commercial.
Well, please do not play that again.
Or did you hear me talk about house hunters?
Yes,
we can entertain right here. You hate the word entertain too?
Well, no, just that commercial. But I got one for you. First ever. Why do people say first ever?
No, first ever.
It's the first. Do you say last ever?
Yeah, first ever.
It's the first.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oxymoron there.
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But here's the thing, Rom.
Drives me nuts.
AP style, Rob Collins.
If there's 32 general managers in a room, and you said, all right, would you take Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Stafford? This is kind of like, Apple, Orange, Volkswagen.
At least 30 you're taking Mahomes, if not 32.
Exactly. Or if not, someone's getting Allen or Burrow, whatever, but nobody's taking Stafford.
Well, maybe the fingernail polish fumes got to him. I don't know.
Caleb Williams, man.
He's 22. I have a 22-year-old son. My son says some wild stuff, so I'll give him a break. All right?
By the sounds of it sounds like that's going to be a jersey swap weekend with Caleb Williams and Matt Stafford. Caleb's going to get the jersey swap.
Yeah, look, obviously, we all know this. Like, Matthew Stafford is obviously not the best quarterback in the league. Duh. Like, no, we don't.
It's
like that. We don't.
Not according to Caleb.
But
it's his favorite, Bank. That doesn't mean
I
that
think
he's
it was
not
more
number 1 overall draft pick.
I think
He's
it's
awesome.
Somebody that he has somewhat of a connection
Somebody
with.
owes money to.
Or whatever.
Out in L.A., maybe USC.
His thoughts there, though, have no bearing on his performance. I get you want a smart quarterback, but
yes,
him having an opinion on a number 1, number 2. Quarterback in the league doesn't mean he's not intelligent. We're going to find.
I would have gone Jaden Daniels.
Trust me, there will be plenty of other reasons to be critical of Caleb Williams once he starts playing.
I don't understand the Bears' love.
We'll see.
I don't get it.
I like O'Dunze.
I don't think. Could they be a wild card team? Maybe.
No.
Anything more than that, I don't get it. With Nick Wright earlier in the week,
if they are over 500.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win 9 games.
What's
Rob.
their win total? 10?
I'm not sure. Probably 9.5 or something.
They have great receivers there, though. I will give them that.
Who's coaching them?
That's my issue. That's my issue.
Yeah,
Waldron and Eberflus. That's my issue.
Right.
I'm with
All
you.
right. Here, I'll make you a deal. I know you.
8.5, by the way.
How much?
Over under 8.5.
Okay. If they win double-digit games, I will donate $96.50 to your new phone.
Love it.
I thought Rob was going to say he was going to get a tattoo of the number of wins that the Bears had.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Are you still getting that 59?
Yeah.
Number 59 might be showing up to the club here in a few
I
minutes.
do
So
like
we'll talk about that.
O'Dunze and Keenan Allen. I think they're
Rob,
actually
I don't know if you were
receiver.
listening. I don't know if you were listening yesterday, but I've talked myself into
Matt Stafford, a quarterback there.
I've talked myself into the meaning of getting the 59 done. I like Barber. I like Barber, but number 5 is my favorite number.
Got it.
Number 9, Joe Burrow is number 9 as well.
Oh,
Of course.
So if you get if the Bengals win, get
Cats
the
have
9
9
with
lines.
the Bengal stripe in it. There's a way that 59 can work.
Gotcha.
And it's a fun story to
And
tell.
where are
as
you
well.
placing this?
It'd be on my wrist, on like the outside.
So everyone can see it. All right.
He's got a Burrow tramp stamp.
Does he?
You ever seen it?
Settle down.
His license plate out there.
Settle
Burrow's my daddy. It's weird how they
No
fit it
way.
all in one,
The
but they
Burrow
did.
tramp stamp.
I didn't look. Is your hair
It's
blonde?
pretty. I mean, it's a good
Oh,
cut,
that's
too.
Not
that's
yet.
week 2 bet.
Is it?
He has to go Eminem, Joe Burrow cut if the Chiefs beat the
There's
Bengals.
a lot riding on week 2. There's a lot riding on that game.
Drew.
But back to what you were saying with the Bears. Look, so I'm with you where I don't get they could be the NFC champ, and
No way.
I don't get that. But over 8.5, if I had to make a bet on it, I probably would still take the over at 9. Their division is very tough, but I do like the weapons they have
They'll be third in that
offensively.
division.
But third in that division, you could still, if we think the Lions are still going to be a 12-win team.
Maybe 11, 12. Yeah.
Green Bay, people think they're in that range, 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Like a team could be one of the better divisions in football, and you could still end up in that category. They open up against Tennessee, right? If you look at the Bears' schedule, the first 4 weeks I think will decide our bet. Like if we were to make the over/under bet, here's who they open up with: Chicago, Caleb Williams, home opener against the Titans. Then they play at the Texans, really tough test there. I think so as well. Colts, I think more of a toss-up game than we think. Rams, I think it's a toss-up game. Panthers should be a win.
That's a win.
Jags, and then Commanders. That's how they open up the season.
Okay.
You look at their scope. It's what DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet actually had a pretty good year last year at tight end. So
I don't know. Chicago teams are not good.
the Bears.
he's gonna be.
What
He's
if
gonna
it's
have.
a Ditka coaching? Maybe a mini Ditka.
Well, that didn't work very
What
well.
if it's mini Ditka? That's
gonna
full size
have,
one, mini Ditka.
Caleb Williams, because the bar is so low, if he gets over 3,800 yards passing, he'll have the single season record passing in Bears history.
Yeah.
So he's going to break that.
As long as he's not playing Utah again.
You're such a
He
hater.
doesn't know what
Such
playoffs
a hater.
are.
Such a hater.
I'm just saying, he was at the Heisman Trophy ceremony,
I
and all
know.
the other quarterbacks were in the playoffs except for him.
I get it.
We'll see.
I definitely get it. What
Either
about
way
this?
it works.
What
if
ab-
I'm wrong, then you guys get nearly $100. If I'm right, well, then I'm right.
That's right. What about this preseason game tomorrow? Anything that stands out to you that you're
I
excited
think
for?
what most people are looking forward to is seeing Kingsley, right?
Yeah,
He'll probably play the most snaps out of the guys working for a position. And then you want to see who's going to be the number 2 at cornerback. And then, just the fun stuff. You want to see what they do with kickoffs with LRZ. And I know you like Carson Steele. It's got to be one of your guys. It's got to be one of your guys. So we'll
He's
see.
a halfback and a fullback
Coach
spot.
Reed talked him up.
He did.
It sounds like he's on the team.
I think he's going to make the
He
team.
likes him.
Yeah.
He led the MAC in rushing 2 years ago. You know, this guy, he's a fullback, but he played halfback. And it's like Andy Reid said, not really a fullback. He can do both. He can.
And generic Prince, see if he can pass block when it
I'm
matters.
going to get a Steel jersey. I break my jersey rules, though, because I told you I have jersey rules.
Yeah, what's that?
Like, I don't want any fat guy wearing, like, single digits. Like, if you're wearing a Mahomes jersey, you can't be 300 pounds because that 1 and 5 shouldn't be split
Yeah,
down with
that's
that
a good
belly.
point.
I'm not kidding. You wear a lineman jersey at that point. I have certain sizes that you have to wear. Like, you can't
Your
get
body
away
shape
wearing
should fit the shape of the guy's
can't wear
jersey you're wearing, right?
You can't wear Xavier Worthy if you're 3 spins, man. You do that's laughable.
I think it's stretching out a little bit.
You can't. That's laughable. I have jersey rules to your size.
Yeah, man, oh man. Yeah, look, I hear you on Kingsley for sure. That's an obvious one. Way down the depth chart just doesn't interest me. Like, it's big deal for Nico Remigio, but even if he makes a team, he's the 6th receiver. It's hard for me to get excited about that. But I'm curious who the number 2 corner is, and there's 3 or 4 guys that are still competing for that.
Sure.
Realistically, probably 2. Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams and Najee Johnson.
Right.
If he can stay healthy, has a good shot along with Jalen Watson in that group.
And I'm curious about Jalen Watson because they just did remove that yellow jersey.
Yeah, he's
from
practicing fully now.
I know he is now, but I'm just curious about game time if you'd be careful with him going in that game. I want to see Felix and see what he does with
That's
the
another
pass
guy,
rushing
yeah.
move
He got a
this
pass
year.
last year.
And then the running game, too. And I know it doesn't, really strike Alex's fancy, but I want to see Deneric Prince in year 2, what he can bring. Because he had high expectations last year, didn't meet him, was on the practice squad. Supposedly he's gotten a lot better. See him, Amani Bailey comes over to TCU, undrafted free agent, see what he can do. And then Jared Wiley. I'm really curious about Jared Wiley and his because his coach, Sonny Dykes, I brought him on during our draft special. He had nothing but great things. He said a lot of players come off the field and tell you what they see. He goes, he actually comes off the field and tells me, like, little things that are actually what we do.
Yeah, whenever the times that I've been at camp, it looks like he and Mahomes have a connection in the red zone. Wiley.
I know that's to me.
He led the nation in red zone touchdowns last year.
In his rookie year, if people think he's going to contribute, to me, it's going to be in the red zone. I would be very surprised if we're talking about him having a bunch of yards this year, but could he have 3 or 4 touchdowns and in meaningful snaps in that way and cause a matchup nightmare? Sure. Yeah, I think so.
2 guys leave him, they double team Kelsey, and he's wide open. Sure.
Sean Barber stepping into Club 610.
You want a beer or chew something?
Wait till he gets his headset. Wait till he gets his headset hooked up. Oh, hey, Drew, we need an adapter for his headset. That's the issue.
Okay.
That's the issue right now.
There's one right there.
All right, I'll get it.
I'll go get it. Barbershops in the house.
What's up, man? I fly with no adapter. I'll just wing this thing.
Let me tell you something about Sean Barber. He was on that team where Andy Reid got Coach of the Year in Philadelphia. Weren't you on that team in 2002?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely on that team. I think I was probably the main reason he got that award.
You were second leading tackler on that team, too.
Well,
you were all over the place.
Let's talk about it.
Except you couldn't play well in domes. Remember, I looked at your dome stats.
You and this dome stuff.
You were awesome outside, but in domes, different linebacker.
I'm a different breed, bro.
I'm just saying, domes weren't your thing.
Be played outside.
He's an element guy.
I like the elements. I'm an element guy. You know what I'm saying? Give me the wind, the water. I'm into all those kind of things.
But your splits, Barber, are interesting.
Oh, my goodness. Stats.
No,
that little black box.
Let me pull out my binder of stats for Sean Barber.
His home record, Barber's home record's 39-17. On the road, 26-29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a loser on the road.
So we're doing win-loss stats for linebackers now? We shouldn't even be doing those for quarterbacks anymore.
New York fans dogging Bobby Witt Jr. for his away stats right now.
No kidding. No kidding. We are going to talk some Royals baseball in about 10 minutes or so. Big series, big opportunity again today. But
Dome, he was Dome. Listen to this. Outdoors, Barber 60-37. Retro roof 4-1. Dome stadiums 1-8.
I'm a playmaker, bro. I love the sun. The sun energizes my soul. I'm a playmaker. I'm a natural playmaker. That's what playmakers do. I'm so excited.
You hate domes, man.
I'm so excited to see Drew Tranquill this year. Y'all don't know how excited I am to be able to go up to camp, watch him practice, watch him in year 2 of Spags defense. This guy's going to be, man, he's going to be electric.
He was the best signing last year, kind of under the radar. What he did with the Chargers, unbelievable. Great coverage of linebacker as well. I'm with you. He's bringing that nastiness, too, in the run game and stuff. Like Drew Tranquill, it's hard for a guy like Nick Bolton to live the NFL in tackles to be out, and then all of a sudden you don't notice he's out because Drew Tranquill's just all over the place. Mm-hmm. But I love the attitude and his fierceness. It seems like he's adopting more of a role now, Sean. Like last year's kind of sit back because you have these team leaders like Kelsey and Mahomes and all these guys. But he seems to be a different dude this year.
Yeah, I mean, your first year doing anything, you're thinking a lot. First year behind the mic, I was here thinking. I let Alex Gold just run off and set questions. He let him say anything. Never challenge him. Don't check his stats. Just let him,
That's why you got to move him.
All his
could have been you.
Yeah, all his bets. He's talking about his betting show. He's laying these odds. I just let him go with it. And then after year 2, I started to challenge him. Be like, hey man, that's BS right there. That stat is that bet is gonna that was a loss before you even laid the bet. And so I think Drew Tranquill, man, year 2 into this defense. I mean, now you're gonna be more instinctive. Yeah. And I think you allow a guy with his athleticism, his knowledge of the game. Certain downs he's going to scoot up a little bit, certain downs deepen up a little bit, understanding what his responsibility is and where he can be, the pluses and minuses on every down. And when you add that to a guy who's just like cerebral and a thinker on the field, I mean, listen, I was not the most athletic linebacker on the field. I like to think I was like super athletic, but really, I think I was more of a thinker. I could process. I could work out, eliminate certain plays before the ball was hiked based off of formation, and that all just led to me being just a half a second faster. A half a second is the difference between knocking down a pass, getting the pass breakup, and actually intercepting it for a pick 6, which I had about 4 of them.
I know you did. Barber was actually very good. I give you credit for that because his stats are crazy. But Drew Tranquill, just another great Veach signing. That 1 year, because he comes in here, 1 year deal. They hardly paid him anything. They actually got a new contract. It's not that unreasonable. Hollywood Brown, that 1 year prove it deal. I mean, the master of doing that, spitting this out and getting guys to come in here and prove it, and Drew did. He was a great addition.
We're just getting started, Club 610 here on a Friday. We'll get some more name suggestions for the future name of Club 610 with the switch to 96.5 The Fan next Thursday. We've got Rob Collins from Fox 4. We got the former Chief, Sean Barber, in studio. Binks in for Cody. We're hanging out here for another half hour on 610 Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Brady Singer. You're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about Dan Dan the Wedding Man. Why rent a suit or tux when you could buy one from Dan Dan? Only $250 gets you a custom tailored suit or tux. And as always, Dan Dan has free alterations for life. It's the day your partner will remember for a lifetime, and it's a suit you can use for a lifetime. Best day, best look with Dan Dan the Wedding Man at 97th and Quivira. Online at dandantheweddingman.com or call 541-1192.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Make history this summer by attending Kansas City Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri. There's still time to join me for year 12 of Chiefs training camp in St. Joe. For more details, go to stjomo.com. stjomo.com. In St. Joe, you'll discover 150 years of history, where the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. Experience history, make history. Go to stjomo.com. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
A cancer diagnosis can be overwhelming, but when you choose MD Anderson Cancer Center first, you'll have the nation's leader in cancer care with you every step of the way. Our world-renowned subspecialists collaborate across teams and disciplines to develop personalized treatment plans for every patient and their cancer. This unmatched expertise, delivered with the utmost compassion, brings hope and healing even in the most complex cases. Choose MD Anderson first at mdanderson.org.
The best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams in all of your favorite sports. From basketball to badminton and soccer to swimming, FanDuel has it all. So don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/610Bob. That's FanDuel.com/610Bob to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Are you getting ready to escape on a summer adventure? Make your summer travels easy and stress-free with Casey's #1 airport parking destination, Park and Go. All spots are covered so your vehicle will stay clear of the elements. Quick and easy shuttle services pick you up right at your car and take you straight to the terminal. Always the best service and always the best price at bookparkandgo.com. Open 24/7, fast and hassle-free. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go!
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
I can't believe tax season is here already. But look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brought to you by Express Employment Professionals.
If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
Back here, Club 610 on a Friday. Alex Gold, Drew Nixon. We got Bink filling in for Cody. We've got Sean Barber in studio, former chief. The sports director over at Fox 4, Sean Barber, Rob Collins, next to you.
Oh, okay.
I bring this up because it was funny. I just didn't know. You know, he goes to Rob. He goes, so you like just a radio guy, or are you really into sports?
I mean, I know some like Drew is a radio guy. He doesn't know.
Oh,
like he don't know sports outside of the Bengals. Wow. Like he doesn't know sports.
He even said 5'9" was his favorite number.
Shots fired.
Rob does the weather.
Tattoo
he talks
idea
about tornadoes and
rescinded.
stuff.
I'm not
Rob
getting
actually, Rob started as a meteorologist, and now he just does sports because they said, we need someone to do sports.
He was in a twister and got too close to it. Yeah, it's a long story.
I mean, listen, I've been on here with AG before.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. It was funny.
We've never been on before.
I know. I just realized that.
I don't think we've ever had you on our show.
That's what you should call your Club 610 over there, the barbershop.
Well,
I think that already has a show.
yeah. We don't need that.
I'm no longer getting 59 tattooed anymore because of what you just said, Barbara.
No, the bet's a bet. The bet's a bet.
Yeah, we can't go.
The bet's locked in, Drew.
No going back on that.
Yeah. But you're throwing shade now on my name.
That's fine. That's
all
what
of a
people
sudden.
do. Once the game starts, I talk trash. Like you don't get to be like, you know what? If you're gonna talk trash, I'm not gonna participate anymore. Like
before he walked in the studio, he asked me if I was worried about week 2. I was like, no, I'm good. He said, you should be worried.
Drew's got a ton on the line.
I'm good.
Yeah, a ton on the line. I want to ask you guys about something that, to me, this is more of a fan pipe dream, social media stuff, but maybe you've been keeping an eye on what's going on in Dallas. I know you're a Texas guy, Rob. CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, all due likely mega contracts. The Cowboys have screwed this thing up to where none of them have gotten a deal yet. We'll see what the overall outcome is, but Jerry Jones yesterday said he's got no urgency to sign CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb goes on Twitter with LOL. Basically, he's obviously not happy with it. He changes his Twitter profiles, and everybody freaks out because he now doesn't have America's team in it. You know, he's got the cover photo where it's him and Hollywood Brown from their Oklahoma days. So naturally, Chiefs Twitter's having some fun with this. FanDuel put out a hypothetical trade. I'll tell you what the hypothetical trade is, and understanding that I don't think this is happening anyway to any team. I don't think he's getting traded. Their hypothetical, Barber, Chiefs get CeeDee Lamb. Chiefs trade away Rashee Rice, 2025 first rounder, 2026 first rounder. The whole thing makes no sense.
No way.
Why would I trade away a guy I have control of for a guy I'm going to have to pay $30+ million a year and give away 2 top picks? It makes no sense. It's fun Twitter conversation.
Sure.
You guys don't actually think CeeDee Lamb's getting traded anywhere, do you?
I don't.
No, this is like a Drew trade. This is like again, like certain people who don't really know sports.
This is a fantasy football trade.
They come up with these kind of ideas. It sounds great. It's fire. This the what do you call it?
But the drama in Dallas is
clickbait.
The drama in Dallas is real though. They got some issues. That part's true.
It's been real since '95.
Yeah,
dude.
Jerry Jones. Yeah.
If I had to lay a bet down right now, I'm betting that. And I like McCarthy. I like him as a person. I know he's a local guy. He has ties here. I doubt he makes it through the season. I would say that in the first 10 games, I was talking to some guys back from Richmond, Virginia, my hometown. I'm like, they're at the Browns. Then they have the Saints coming there. Then they're got the Ravens coming there. At the Steelers versus the Lions. At the 49ers. At the Falcons versus the Eagles and versus the Texans. I got him going like 3-7 in the first 10 weeks. 3-7, he's fired.
I'm with you 100% on McCarthy being on a hot seat because I think Belichick's their next coach. And as far as CeeDee Lamb, this is things you got to take care of because Jerry knows that window's closing. He wants to win now. And this guy had 135 catches for you last year. That is your offense. They needed to take care of this before we even got to this point. In Dallas, they wouldn't do business with the Chiefs 2 years ago in the drafts in Kansas City. They didn't take the call from the Chiefs. The Parker anger for Charvarius Ward, the Chiefs fleeced him on that, man. I mean, they fleeced the Dallas Cowboys on anger for Charvarius Ward. So I don't know if Dallas is in the mood to do business with the Chiefs anyway.
McCarthy should have been fired last year.
Yeah, he should have been.
Where I disagree,
Him
though,
and Sirianni, and those are the top two I think that should be gone.
Where I disagree, you think Belichick's going to be the head coach, and I know a lot of people do. I don't think Belichick's coaching again anymore. He's got the Cush broadcasting gig. He's living live. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. I don't think he's coaching again.
Yeah, but how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
As long as if he gets the coaching gig at all anywhere, that relationship's over. He's not dating a 24-year-old while he's coaching the NFL. No chance. So I think he's just like, you know what, this life thing is pretty nice.
What's more impressive, though, his Super Bowls or dating a 24-year-old being over 70?
The Super Bowls, because, Bank, if I won the Powerball, the Super Bowl, if I won the Powerball tomorrow and I'm worth $200 million, I become...
In Hollywood, you see 70
But he's dating a 24-year-old
Swiftie.
Swiftie.
All the time.
He's in his 70s.
Big,
That's
but
pretty impressive,
if I was worth $100 million all of a sudden, I would become way more attractive to a lot of people.
I want to ask you, Barbara, once as a former player, I know you didn't have the social media that people have now when you played, but we saw CD and Hollywood change their background profiles. You guys talk to each other and say, hey, man, let's jack with the media. Let's stir some stuff up and do that. Did you guys ever do anything like that?
Like you said, I'm a dinosaur in the game, so that stuff wasn't an option for us.
But any other outlet that you could do that?
The opportunity to go out there and talk to the media and maybe give them a little something to kind of chum the waters, get them chasing the rabbit the wrong direction. I mean, whatever you had to do to make it fun. I mean, camp is long. The season is long. If you're going to base what you're going to write about the team based off of a player's comments here and there, then I feel like that's poor journalism. I mean, you got to, check your sources and make sure it's something real. But majority of people, they want to be the first person to report it. So anything you say, they'll just run with it. So.
Well, we see Chris Jones all the time.
Yeah.
Throwing out cryptic tweets.
I love it, man.
I mean,
That's great.
Would you have been doing that back in the day if you had that?
No. Nah, that ain't. I'm focused on, I always thought I was going to be the 53rd guy cut. So every training camp, we talked about it at the training camp when I was on the midday show. I went into training camp thinking I'm like 51, 52, 53. Like one of these young guys coming after my spot. Like I got to outwork them on special teams. I got to wear the yellow cap, be the show team. Like whatever I had to do to make sure I was going to impress every coach there. I kind of went into each training camp like I was on the chopping block. And I think that's how my career ended up being a 10-year career. Made it easy.
I was asking Rob about the Chiefs preseason game tomorrow and everything. Have you watched any of the preseason yet? The reason why I ask is we know there's new kickoff rules. We know there's this new, what is it called? Skyhawk or whatever it is. Hawkeyes. Yes,
Yard marker.
Yard marker, first down stuff. Starting with kickoffs, because you were a special teams guy as well, right?
Yes. I was all four. Core special teams.
That's right.
Four phaser.
That's right.
Four phaser, tip of the spear, baby.
So what do you make of the rule change? Because so far, the idea of the rule was to cause more returns, which I guess technically in 3 games, that is true. We haven't had the touchbacks. But if every return's just going to the 25 anyway, we're wasting our time. Where are you at on the new rule?
It's entertainment. It's more entertaining.
Is it entertaining seeing the same thing at 25? Entertaining is Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback, not the guy getting tackled at 25 every single time during these preseason games.
What's not entertaining is touchbacks. That's a dead play. So if
sure. So let's
the
just
NFL
skip
got
it.
to the point where if every kicker was going to just kick it out the back of the end zone, well, they might as well just eliminate the play. Well, like why are
I'm
we
fine
even
with that too.
wasting time on doing something if every kicker is going to kick it out? So I think the NFL found a way to still not to a detriment of the defense. We can't give them the ball at the 35 to 40 every single time. We can give them an opportunity, and if they end up at the 25-yard line, we add a little excitement. We add a little different formation and stuff. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so I don't want to get rid of kickoffs if we can make it work, but they're never going back to what it was like when you were playing, right? Due to safety reasons. That was the best. But
I was a wedge buster. Do you know what that means? You didn't know what palms meant as far as college football.
Barbara was tricking me on coverages. She was trying to test me.
You're the battering ram.
I hate this
run
rule.
down and break up the three guys.
I hate this rule.
standing
I was
in
all
front of
for
you,
them
man.
just expanding the roster size by one. If this is what we're going to do, and guys are going to be kicking that are normally safeties or whatever, can you kick as well? Like Jaden Hicks has kicking in his background as well, but I always thought they should expand the roster. I hate the changes. I hate the onside kick, not till the fourth quarter, and you have to announce it. Why the hell do you have to announce it? That's part of the fun of football, man. You start the second half, you see things on tape, and you're like, well, just do the onside kick here and get the ball because the return team's going backwards. We can easily get this 10-yard. It takes that out of the game, and I don't like it.
I'm just saying, let's see what the rest of preseason and the first couple weeks of the regular season is. I hear you, touchbacks stink, they're boring. But if the average return is still only going to be to the 25, that's all I'm saying, well, then we are still wasting our time. I'm not saying the rule change, I suddenly want or thought we were going to have kickoff returns for touchdowns all the time. I don't want that. That would be ridiculous as well. But if the result of the touchback is the same result we're getting now on 95% of kicks, not to the 35, not occasionally to the 40, we haven't had any of that in these preseason games yet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, maybe people aren't showing anything.
That's what I'm saying. Let's wait till regular season.
Wait. And I'd rather see somebody return it 5 to 7 yards with a chance of fumble or a chance to break one than kicking it in the end zone every single time.
Well, it's better than the alternative. I'm just wondering, at some point, are we just wasting our time? If for safety reasons, if kickoffs can't be kickoffs anymore, are we wasting our time and just let's let Mahomes get the football and let's play?
Well, since I'm the only person in the room, I think, who was a wedge buster, I'm telling you, I like the new rules. I'm 100% on the new rules. Let us start 10 yards away all the way down the field.
Start the 40?
Because, running 40 yards and going into 2 backup offensive linemen and waking up on the wrong sideline sometimes is,
Well, I know why they switched it. I know why they switched it from that because of the safety problem that you're discussing. I understand why they adjusted. I'm just saying, nobody wants to get rid of kickoffs. I don't, but is that going to eventually be reality if this is what it's going to be? That's all.
Solution-based. I'm a solution-based person, so until you come up with a better solution, I say we stick with this new format.
I'm fine with them trying it, but not all solutions are great solutions, right? And so there may not be a solution if you're trying to make a competitive, full contact sport as safe as possible. You can only do that so much in the NFL.
Hey, G, did we go back to the old way?
What's that?
Did we go back to the
I
old
wish
way?
we could. They're not going to.
You know what we haven't seen in preseason games?
I would love that.
The Guardian cap. You know the Guardian cap they wear in training camp that they allowed in the NFL this year, but it's got have you seen one person wear it? Because you can wear it during game. Have you seen one Guardian cap?
They're allowed to if they wanted to.
Too swaggy.
I haven't seen one Guardian cap.
That's probably what it is.
It doesn't look
they don't like the
swaggy.
look of it.
Don't look good.
I wouldn't wear a Guardian cap.
Thinking of this we just had the safety conversation, but it doesn't look cool enough. So
I gotta look good on Sundays. I can't be out there just looking. And I was a little offended by the fact that you said, Barbara, I want to know if you watched the preseason game.
Because I asked it to everybody because preseason. Rob said he hasn't watched. It's a fair question.
Last night because I was working. I was writing and editing.
It's a fair question. Absolutely.
No.
Cody doesn't watch most preseason games. Drew doesn't watch everyone. Most people don't. So
I win my fantasy leagues.
And they're be better than the college football picks that were on the board until a week ago. Still,
I win my fantasy league. So yes,
those college football playoff picks were up on the board for a while.
I want to see a few backup running backs get some carries. I want to
bring Survivor
I win
back.
my fantasy league and I don't watch preseason.
It's all about the competition.
I got a 12-team dynasty league for 10 years. So.
That's a family league. That family league.
No.
You're playing against your sons and daughters. Sometimes
this is
the street goes
$250 entrance fee, man. It's cutthroat.
There we go.
You can't talk about
monetary.
monetary.
Yeah, you can. What are you talking
I
about?
spoke to you about this. Me and Betts.
Well, he's talking about his.
I know. I'm just
but
saying.
I know you can't talk.
Yeah.
You don't. Barber doesn't ever bet any money on anything. Rob,
AG got me. Yes.
Rob does. I know Barber doesn't ever put any money on anything. We don't do that. He just makes bets for tattoos with Drew. That's all he does.
Exactly. Hats and tattoos.
Let's talk a little Royals baseball for a second. I know we got Barber in here, so I wanted to get in a lot of football stuff. But
Barber likes baseball.
I know,
exactly. Do you even know me?
His kid plays baseball.
Everything starts with this.
We'll talk baseball. We have Barber in here, though.
Yeah,
well, when I have an opportunity to have literally the conversation we just had was you explaining to me about being the wedge buster and everything. And so I figure when we have your knowledge and experience of football, let's talk football. But I want to make sure we get to a little Royals baseball. That was the idea.
I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of Royals.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the organization, the team. My son is actually
I know.
with
Your
him.
son's playing in Arizona.
One-trick pony, Barber.
That might be a reason to follow him a little bit, right?
So the Royals have a great opportunity today, guys. Not only are they playing the Cardinals, but there's a doubleheader for the Guardians and Twins. We could be sitting here on Monday if all goes well over the next 3 days, and the Royals could be as close to the division leader as they've been since what? The opening day?
First week, yeah. It's a great opportunity. We need the Twins to beat up on the Guardians.
I'm with you on
back
that,
to the
Rob.
field, I believe. And I remember last time I was in here, you and Cody asked me if I thought the Royals would ever be in first place in the division, and I said yes. And that's coming.
This is the weekend it has to happen, maybe.
It's coming. I
mean, perfect day.
Lorenzen on the mound tonight, making his home debut. We'll see what he did. He looked pretty good.
He did.
And then Waka coming up, former Cardinal. So I think they got a good opportunity. There should be a lot of people out there. It's
I
nice
hope
weather,
so.
man.
Beautiful weather.
They've got a lot of postseason experience on this roster. They actually do. I know it didn't really matter in 14 because not really anybody did but Shields. But postseason, like Paul DeYoung comes in. He's got 14 postseason games under his belt. But Cleveland with those 5 losses, I mean, just a couple days ago went perfect for the Royals. You win. I mean, you did lose 2 out of 3 to Boston, but it didn't matter. But you look at this wild card chase. It's Boston, Kansas City, Minnesota, if they don't win the division.
I'm looking at the wild card as a backup.
Yeah, but
let's go for the division.
None of these wild card teams really
close.
scare me, though. I know, but they don't really scare me well. If they end up there, they end up there. But they still better than Minnesota, better than Seattle. I know they made moves with the Rosarena and Justin Turner, but that not turning around that offense because I think Houston wins that division.
I mean, I'm glad I'm not a historically scarred Royals fan. I feel like most people in the area, it's so many years of losing and this and this. They're scared to really jump on board.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like I was on board from the beginning. I thought the season, the team had a lot of talent. I saw the starting pitching. I think during the trade deadline, they made some moves to improve the team. So instead of being a seller, they was a buyer. To me, that means they're focused on not just trying to be a wild card, but win the division. And so I love teams that are pennant chasers. I like people that chase championships. So yes, I do. I'm a competitive. What do you want to call it? SOB? Yeah.
What did Eric be a competitive prick? Eric the enemy.
I know, shout out to you. I know you didn't make a bet, but I made a futures bet on the Royals to win the division at the beginning of the season.
30-1.
Yeah.
30-1.
I have
so
25.
Okay, so you and I are on the same page
we're
when it comes to that. Hoping that the Royals this weekend can really close the gap if all goes well. I want to actually get your perspective of locker room, clubhouse. When you have somebody that is considered, maybe you have the answer to this player. I don't know. Like right now, if you're a teammate of Bobby Wood Jr.'s,
yes,
you know that a guy on your team, he might be the best player in baseball right now.
Yes.
And he's in your clubhouse. And what does that mean for the entire clubhouse locker room? So football-wise, can you relate to that at all?
Like Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
what's that do for the whole locker room and for the whole going into any game knowing you got that guy in your squad?
Like any of those guys, like being in the locker room with guys that are one-on-one, like doing their thing. When the guy's hot, man, you want to just make sure you don't get in his way. You don't want to do anything that change his routine. If he's used to getting donuts, if he's used to not carrying his helmet, if he's used to having somebody, take his pads in, and you see his pads laying there, yeah, I'm a starting linebacker. But if Priest or Tony or Willie Roaf left their pads and they expected it to go, I would take them in. Like the last thing I want to do is break up somebody's mantra, break their routine, and have them thinking about something other than the game when they're riding a hot streak. And so we didn't have 162 games to play. It was 16 opportunities to go out there and show what you got, and you knew that was going to either open the door or close it on the postseason. So whenever a guy was really feeling it, we used to call him a ticket. That's the ticket. That's everybody's ticket for the postseason.
The golden ticket.
So don't mess up the ticket. Don't mess up the ticket. Don't mess with it. Like whatever you got to do to make sure the ticket is being taken care of, You do what you got to do when
And
it
in
comes
practice
to being a teammate.
and during the game, you don't want to let that guy down. You don't want to miss an assignment. You don't want to miss a play. You don't want to put him in a bad situation because he is your ticket, and you want to give him the chance to get you to where you need to go.
Yeah. So the years I was here, it was Priest. Priest was the ticket. That was the guy. I mean, I don't know what his best years in the league was, but I would think that
I'm sure Binkley has the stats.
03, 04, and 05 were the seasons.
Oh, it was so much fun to watch.
And I think
those.
that 03 season, if you want to talk about peak Priest Holmes, you
A
want to talk
screen
about
game.
prime Priest Holmes. I mean, all the little going
offensive
to the end
line.
zones.
That
Yeah,
offensive line was ridiculous.
I think things changed for the Royals with Vinny. He made those comments, and early on in the season, it was like, all right, this team takes it seriously now. Like losing, like it's one thing to have all the losses that came last year, but they took it personally. And you could tell that, with Vinny early on, this team's better than this. And even JJ saying, hey, we should have won more games last year than we did. But when Vinny said that, I was like, now they're taking ownership in this team. They're now leaders of this team. Beforehand, you had other leaders who were on this team, but they kind of took ownership of it. When Vinny made those comments back in like March or April, I was like, okay, they get it. This is a different team now. Now his production's backing up, the talking. So it's like Moose. Moose was more vocal when he became good. He was. I mean, Moose, people listen to his message more when
you're good to be vocal because it doesn't carry any weight. If
Exactly.
You're 212.
And with Moose, when he was good and when he was hitting over 300 there or whatever, he became more vocal. That's who he is, And I noticed that with Vinny when he said that. I was like, all right, this team's taking ownership. I don't know if they're going to go in and smash toilets like George Brett, hitting a toilet with a bat, but take it personally, man.
Yeah.
Take it personally.
This team reminds me a lot of the makings of 13.
Yeah.
Back in 13, and they built obviously 14.
And this had a schedule. I mean, if they make the postseason, they're definitely ahead of schedule for that exact comparison where they're at. I mean, I think they are making the postseason.
I do too.
I tend to think that it's probably still going to be wild card, but I would love to be wrong for the reason you pointed out. We both got 30-1 tickets on the division.
Pitching staff, and if it's a 3-game series, what they can roll out is fantastic, and they should be able to make the postseason. The only thing I'm worried about the pitchers is some of these guys are getting to innings they've never been before, and they're a little up there for baseball years, right?
Especially Lugo, because he only had like 146 innings pitched last year. Yeah.
Walker's the only guy really in that rotation. I guess Singer to a certain extent. Other than that, yeah, you're talking about career highs in innings. The promising thing, I know all year the story had been bullpen, but Lucas Ursay, nasty stuff.
That may have been the best signing.
Yeah, it's looking
Former
like
position player too, which is crazy.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. So huge series, weird weekend. They're off Sunday.
I know.
They play today and tomorrow.
That's
Head out to
weird.
Kauffman Stadium. Michael Lorenzen on the bump. Vern's on deck show tonight at 6. Rob, appreciate you coming in studio, man. We'll have a different name maybe for this club next time we see you.
See.
Club 965.
Final
or
one, Rob's
whatever.
here.
965 Club. Club only fan.
Barbershop.
Barber.
Do not include me in anything. It begins or ends with fans only fans, whatever way you want to.
That was a suggestion.
I don't care
It was on
how
the
you
text
flip
line.
those words. I'm not involved in it.
Oh, man. Barber, appreciate you coming in studio, man. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for filling in, Bink. We're up in St. Joe on Monday for Chiefs Camp.
Cody and Gold.
If the Royals win the World Series, I